All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host Phontomen, and welcome to another early stream. Good morning. Well, some delays or mishaps are my fault. However, also some of them aren't. This is one of the time where it's kind of both. I was supposed to be on yesterday, but well, I had myself a post-Christmas drink. Couldn't help myself, but yeah, well, now there is a very, 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 very serious, somber, and unfortunate family emergency that has been suddenly thrust upon us. So, raiding with a party of one, a legion of one over there. Krillberg? Nice to see you, sir. Good morning. Right, so, unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to stream for the rest of the month because of this, but, yeah, well, we'll get something in now, I guess, while I'm still able to. The mighty raid has arrived. A single person. Thank you for your presence, sir. But, well, we still got a German brick to get a hold of, even though it's going to be kind of a novelty until further notice. But hey, those anti-ship missiles might actually be useful for something in, I don't know, probably 2 years at this rate, but who knows? They may add more useless boats to the point where we actually see them in top-tier jets. Wouldn't that be a shocking turn of events, But okay, so let's get on with the event, and there has been a patch. Apparently, they have adjusted the radar behavior for, radar missiles of all types, or nearly all types, and so we get a lot less, instances of them going sporadically active radar homing and choosing their own targets. As funny as it is to watch a sparrow, forsake your authority and choose its own destiny, it's kind of unfortunate when it misses the intended target. That should happen less often, allegedly, and also notch angles have been adjusted, so they will, it's a buff, so apparently, they'll be harder to notch. Radar misses in general are harder to notch, and apparently the radar will keep track of the target for longer periods of time after the man successfully notches. So, F-pull or die is what I'm seeing. I haven't played a game yet, so I don't know how it's actually going to affect, but that was the patch this morning. F-16 is also supposed to be faster at 9 kilometers height. We'll see about that. I don't think I'm going up that high, but we'll see about that. I've kind of forsaken, high-altitude gameplay because, honestly, it really doesn't matter, and everybody's going low to avoid the fucking phoenixes. Not like you'll ever get hit by a fucking phoenix unless you're, well, just not paying attention. However, some people, as we have seen, have no idea how to F-pull. At all. But we'll see how this works out. But I'm going to be streaming most of this morning, and really for as long as I can, playing War Thunder, because, yeah, I gotta get that in now. Though, fortunately, as I did not actually get a chance to stream at normal hours to catch the man, thanks to Stranger Subused in Shadows' generous donation of $500 fucking dollars while I wasn't even streaming, yeah, money's fine now. So I can actually take the rest of the month off if I need to, and unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna need to. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just gonna be chaperoning for my sister while, my mother takes a trip up to New York. Yeah, unfortunately, my younger brother, not the asshole, the other one, is in a bit of a spot currently. I'll tell you more about it later, but it is a rather unfortunate scenario. He's fine, however, unfortunately, yeah, it's not him that's the problem, or was the issue, but he's still in a mess of trouble currently. So my mother's going up to go see to him, and I'm gonna be sitting here making sure my younger sister and her boyfriend keep their hands off of each other, being the responsible killjoy adult. But anyway, enough about that, let's get to playing the game. People use phoenixes? I know, it's like gambling, but yes, they do. Apparently they're somewhat reliable in single target track mode, but why would you want to do that? Just use a sparrow. Are you gonna make videos the next 30 days or completely no video streams? I'm gonna be offline. I'm not gonna be home. So I'm gonna be at my mother's place, so I'm not gonna be able to do anything. It'll probably be only for a week or so, but I'm just not gonna be here. I'm probably gonna be playing War Thunder on my laptop, which is going to be kind of a crippling downgrade. However, the F-16 is point and shoot for the vast majority of the gameplay. So, It should be fine, really. All I have to do is put the, you know, just tap the radar bore sight mode and shoot at people, and the missiles play the game for me. I barely have to think. Okay, so... Also... Hey! Ah. Much better. Okay, so... As I said, the patch updated radar missiles to apparently be better generally overall, which is probably not an intentional buff to the F-16. It's probably more to help the MiG, because the MiG-29 is in a really bad state currently because it can't dogfight, and its radar sucks. So, it's probably more a buff to them than for me, but I'm also affected. Okay, so... Enemy's probably going to be coming over here. So we're going to try and lock up somebody as long a range as possible, because we need to... If this is doing what I think it's going to be doing, it's going to be a... You know, getting the launch first at Fox 1 is going to be extremely fucking important if this is going to do what I think it's going to do. Because you're just going to have to fly defensively, or you're fucked. F-pull or die. That's it. But this involves we actually, requires we find the enemy first, which they're over there. Did anybody come this way? It does not look like it. The scope appears to be clean in this general direction, so nobody held this direction. Okay, I can pick him up just fine. Alright, so that means that everybody's on our right. The bulk of our friendlies are going that direction, so we're just gonna stick around over here. See if we can nail anybody at the tail end of the formation, because we don't actually want to go at them sideways, because, again, the notch angles were adjusted, so it's going to be even easier for them to F-pull. Or shit, probably at this rate, A-pull, which just kind of fly a little sideways. I don't know who's locking me, but we're going to take that fucking seriously. Okay, then. Okay, he's off at about 2 o'clock, whoever the fuck he is. Yep, there's somebody pinging me out there. It's that guy, most likely. But yeah, that's flying defensive. You start to see that radar. Oh boy. Better get that fucking missile up quick. Come on. Don't hit the mountain. Don't hit the fucking terrain, I swear to you fucking bastard. It went too low and smacked into the terrain. And then the wonderful bug decided to hit me again, and I didn't get my missile off because I pressed the button, but the game was like, no, you didn't. That bug's... Can we address that bug? I'd like to address that bug. That'd be nice. I've got myself in a bad situation, though. I need to run. Goodbye. That was not fucking tracking whatsoever. Press the button. That's a... Wait. That was going for that MiG, but I suppose the buff stopped that. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna need to go, and damn. Well, the heaters didn't get adjusted, so we're gonna need to leave now, since, because I missed my... Bye, guys! Well, I got the shit team, you know what that means, we're going home, because I don't get paid enough for this shit! Goodbye! I am leaving now. Yeah, I'm the last one on the enemy team. Going home. Fuck that. You could try and actually get multiple kills like this in a bad situation, but largely, you're probably not going to. So, well, see you next game, boys. Fucking Angus Day could not they could not help us. And now it's Angus running the fuck away. What do I think of the XP-50? The XP-50, well, the climb rate is apparently busted. I like the plane, I have it. I got it out of a random box many moons ago. I don't really feel the need to play middle-tier prop planes anymore, or really any prop planes. Currently, I'm all about that haha missile go bang gameplay. And that guy actually followed me. The air defense works, kids. If you want to get shot down by Rollins, that's your prerogative, my friend, but they'll hit you. And they did. That fitter, that guy, I don't know what that guy's doing, but he don't know. They fixed that. They didn't tell anybody about it, but they fixed that. Well, now to just kind of put her in and then go to the fucking O Club because we're not playing today. I got one kill, that fitter. That was I helped him. I lured him into the friendly air defense net. Me and the boys on the ground got a shared kill. That was totally me. But yeah, so, no. I lost my aiming with prop lane since I played a lot of 10.0 German ground. It happens. There's a lot of things to focus on in War Thunder, and at any particular moment, you can, in fact, find yourself in a place where you just kind of forget one thing. And yep, yeah, the Rollins work now, boys. That means my air defense is actually a safety net, but oh, don't worry, the game's not gonna last very much longer. See you next game! Because there's no point in doing that. Fuck that. You won. Congratulations. That's really... that. You could pull those victories out, and obviously, if I could actually, you know, I'd probably be good practice to try. But in a lot of cases, look, if we're just doing this for the first merge, which is what we're doing, there's really no point in dragging this shit out. I'm just gonna give myself a repair bill. If everybody's gonna prioritize and push War Thunder to be an incredibly vapid and shallow game, which is what the game is outside of the enduring conflict maps, which most people don't like because they're shitters. If we're gonna push, okay. If we're gonna shove in that direction, if everybody's gonna go walking in that fucking direction where we have Mach 2 fights over Beyblade arenas and, you know, the game ends in 2.5 minutes, okay, fine. I'm gonna limit frustration because what's encouraging me not to? Credibility? Style points? Skill? No. I have been playing War Thunder for years, and the only reason anyone knows me, if at all, is because of funny meme videos, and that's it. But my whole team let me down, and this is a team-based game, remember? It's not supposed to be me versus the enemy, remember? Right? Right? No, actually, it's a whole bunch of stupid shit in practice. But if we're gonna keep playing Shout, fine, I just won't fucking stress myself. I'll just fly back to my airbase and leave. Okay, next game, as it were. Fuck it. I could have stayed there, but I'd be wasting, 5 minutes in the fucking, I could be spending in the queue getting another game. See, it doesn't matter. I'm only here for, to watch missiles fly into people and giggle. Ring the bell. That's really all I'm here for. Nice camouflage, though, sir. Well, let's see. Let's hope this team's a bit better. We'll see. Because I kind of like a team that isn't dead on fucking arrival. Okay, maybe not, but maybe that guy was just doing maybe that guy was practicing for New Year's, right? Fireworks display? Maybe that's what that guy was doing. Okay, so, radar extend. We'll be watching our front sector for threats, but something tells me the enemies are mostly gonna go, that direction. It's usually what they do. For some reason, people have actually really gotten used to just lemming rushes in one direction. Everyone seems to have unconsciously decided which direction they should go, and everyone just kind of goes that way. Effectively, what we do on nearly every map is we go this way, and they go this way, and we're effectively doing a base swap. We don't reach our air bases, but we're engaging somewhere, like, we're coming from this direction, which is where the enemies are the enemy air bases, and they're coming from about this direction, or this area. I don't know why, but that's what people fucking do now. Odd hours makes me as a European happy. Well, there's at least something. I catch people across the pond. Cater to a different audience. Anybody home? No? Okay. It's called Sky NASCARing. Is that the technical term for it? Is that what the kids call it today? You see, they're over there. Yeah, everybody just takes left turns. Rather, in this case, right turns. Okay, so, Biss got splashed. What a surprise. And then, an F-16 got splashed by another MiG, and then another MiG hit a Yak-38. I think that was just the same MiG who instantly died. He got his kill. Good for him. See, it looks like everybody's over there. And I'm not picking up any threats otherwise. Okay, we're going in there. The kill ball has been sighted. They all went one direction. Okay, since they're in range, that guy's surrounded by teammates. This motherfucker, however, is trying to sneak up, and he gets the kill, unfortunately. That man is flying sideways, so that may not hold, but let's hope he just kind of ignores the RWR. They said well, a good thing that didn't acquire really properly, but they said the missiles would do that, or rather the radar would do that less often. It's fixed, guys. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, and this is completely fucking invisible. Target's high, though. Come on, launch. No, that got spoofed by fucking chaff of all things. Okay, so, don't know about that one, but my radar seems a little less reliable now. That doesn't seem more reliable, that seems less. Just saying. Yeah, no, that's not gonna hit. Okay, notched. Well, that's probably an IR missile, and it looks like my team has all died again. Whoa, okay. Okay, well, it looks like we're doing another fighting retreat. Nope. Nope. Well, I got the missile off. Did I get the kill? Fine, got him. Apparently I'm getting the shitter teams today, because that's what it's looking like. I still got the kill, though. That was awful, though. Okay. Okay, so apparently what we need to do now is actually head in with our team, because they need to be handheld even harder than usual. We've got the bad teams today. Unfortunately, I like to wake up at the crack of dawn and actually play War Thunder, because usually the shit teams are, on the other side, but apparently that's not the case today. This is going to be kind of annoying then. But yeah, so apparently we need to fly closer with our teammates, because we need to remove threats even faster now. We cannot trust our teammates to be able to play the fucking game properly and not all instantly die in the first merge. Again, Vapid. Hey, look, the same match. Let's have a nice do-over. Let's actually get some kills today. Let's get some more kills and win. But, so, yeah, on first inspection, yeah, those guys were all flying sideways, so they're really easy to notch the radar, but, ooh, boy, howdy, did we lose some shit. They may have adjusted, like, I saw my radar hop off to target friendlies twice. I have IFF, by the way. That shouldn't happen. Or the radar should know, don't do that. And on top of that, it seems as though, the chaff bursts are a little bit more, present than they were before, because honestly, I felt like chaff didn't do jack shit. So I lost a radar lock to chaff there. Granted, they were all flying sideways, so they were all really close to notching targets, but okay. I love constant beeping. Yes. Welcome to 4th Generation Fighters, where we have RWR in our ear that sounds like, I got a phone call. But RWR, that sounds like a fucking arcade machine. But, hold on, folks. Okay. I gotta keep my phone on to whatchamacallit, make sure I'm in the know for the foreseeable future. However, that was just my grandmother notifying me that my breakfast is here. But okay, so, just a little bit of wasted time there. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, well, we'll play a bunch of games. We'll know by the end of the day whether or not shit's really actually changed. But yeah, it seems like do not attempt to lock targets flying sideways. So you want that head-on merge. You want that, play, Sky NASCAR with people and then fly directly towards them. Even though this is somewhat suicidal, it's better for you. That man is directly in front of me at co-altitude. My radar should have no problems finding him, but I guess it does. Okay, Fox 1. We're gonna keep tracking him. He's dumping chaff and flares, but that looks still good. Okay, I didn't lose track to countermeasures there. That's not a radar missile. However, that did not actually get launched properly. That's a problem. Well, okay. It seems like the radar's getting stuck on shit at low altitude more, too. So it seems like low altitude shots aren't really agreeing with them. With the stat. Uh-oh. Ooh, damn it. Well, I got 2 kills. I should have been looking behind me, but I got 2 kills. Okay, so she's touchy at low altitude, it looks like. She can still work, but she's touchy. Oh well. That guy needs help. He's playing the shittier blade. Alright, alright. Well, I got 2 kills, but you see, now we're gonna have to fly into the kill ball like that, because sideways shots are gonna be a little bit more chancy now, because notch angles. But apparently, the radar will track longer when it loses the target. So now I gotta really pay attention, because, yeah, it seems like the radar is actually having trouble acquiring targets. Or acquiring a firing solution good enough to actually launch a fucking Sparrow. I can't just quickly ripple the shots off anymore. It seems like it's being kind of touchy. Though I'd certainly hope that flying low would help me against other radar missiles, but I guess we're gonna have to fly even fucking lower to see. The NASCAR comment made me remember a funny Mario Kart insult I thought of a few weeks ago. Want to hear it? Go ahead, Draco. You get confused by Baby Park and mirror mode. I don't know the true context of that, but okay, that sounds like an interesting insult. But yeah, definitely we've got some new curveballs that we're gonna have to feel out. I didn't really necessarily fully understand how radar works, but it looks like, well, it didn't matter. It's changed anyway. So now we're gonna have to get used to new radar, which whatever the fuck it really wants to do now. But it seems like, low-altitude radar missiles are kind of touchy, as you would think in real life that would be the case. But, that wasn't the case. Sparrow launches in the F-16 at least felt like certain things, aside from if the guy was flying sideways, but, now I guess not so much. but I was already flying the plane like a starfighter, so I was already going directly, you know, head first towards the enemy. Looks like that is just now a thing. So fly really fucking fast. Really, really fucking fast so the enemy can't, you know, re-engage us. Because really really now the whole point now is just win the game at the first merge and call it a day. I'd like there to be a reason to stick it out, honestly, but most of the time, honestly, there isn't. Okay, so those are the AI planes. There you can see the radar just kind of nudging the cloud of AI planes. And those are either AI or, well, the enemy team. I don't see the AI planes. So I'm gonna take a wild fucking guess and, yep, that's an enemy. You can take a wild fucking guess and say, nope, those are real people. Okay, he's flying sideways. He doesn't appear to be notching the missile. Chaff and flares just to screw with them a bit. And that's the... He's notched, but that actually held target. Okay. Is that gonna hit, though? Nope. Shot trashed. Ooh. As you can see, the L's, really, they're not all that fan-fucking-tastic a top tier. They're really easily flared off. They're not R60s. So there's a little bit of, you know, gambling in that, but a lot of times they will just get flared off and you won't hit the target. It looks like that radar missile probably got confused by chaff at close range. That looked like it was tracking perfectly fine, but then all of a sudden it didn't. Nope, can't pull hard enough. Thanks, G. Thanks, fly-by-wire, you cocksucker. But at least I'm on his ass now. Whoa! Yep, he's out of flares. See, when there's no flares to confuse the missile's fine. But then, you know, when they actually have countermeasures, it's becoming bad. So it looks like a fuck with the guy until he runs out of flares situation. Also, hey, that air brake. Also, okay! Oh, well, the side-lobing shit'll actually be lesser now. That didn't help that missile. That missile saw, you know, a shitload of friendlies and a shitload of enemies and went doshio, wah, and flew into the fucking ground. Catch. Ooh! Okay, now I'm out of missiles, but we're winning now, so good. I've got a team here. So, yeah, I don't think there's a significant difference. Or I can't tell. So it seems like there's just the same shit's happening. I really do not see a difference initially. It seems like, you know, when push comes to shove, the radar acts the same stupid ways it is happening. There are a couple of fringe cases, like from the other round, that I'm seeing initially that may hint towards a change, kinda, but that was just stupid radar missile shit that we've seen since forever. So, maybe there's a change, maybe there isn't.
Operation complete. Return to base.
What I can determine is it's not a hard buff to radar missiles. It may be help just a little bit, but it's probably more for the big sake because he has a shittier radar. The 23 is fine. The 29 is absolutely awful currently because, yeah, there's no advantages to using that plane. The R27ER is a little bit of an advantage because it's so fucking fast. The only problem is it's tacked onto a plane with shittier radar than me, so you starting to see the issue? He's got an advantage. The only problem is he's not good enough to really utilize that advantage effectively enough to really hurt me. But, you know, notch or die. So, we'll play a couple more games, but this does not seem like a hard buff. This does not seem like it is drastically change how air combat works. You will still have sparrows suddenly decide I'm an active radar homing missile, and I have a mind of my own, and in that case, just kind of fell into the ground there. But it was interesting to see that initial sparrow track better than I think it would have, because I think beforehand that lock would have just dumped and, well, I guess we don't have a kill. But this missile still missed anyway, so not really that big of an effect. I guess it kept me waiting on bated breath longer or some shit.
Incoming message from Allied Forces Operations Command.
I have said this before, and I will say it again. This sound pack, the sound mod for War Thunder, all the Ace Combat stuff, it's making me like Mimic more than I initially did even playing the DLC in 7. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm exposed to it longer and I'm having more fun moments. I don't think Mimic was underutilized in 7, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm liking the song more. Okay, so that is... I can't see anybody behind that, so I'm gonna... Well, actually, no, I'd have IFF. So that brick of units that just came by at close range, that's the AI. That's the enemy team. You gotta kind of be careful about acquiring the right kill ball. But it looks like we did. You see, the closer one that's pinging very loudly off on the right, that's the AI. But we want this guy right here. See if we can kind of... Yep, lost him. Kind of nudge it over. That's good enough. That man. Just give him the angry side eye. That looks like it's holding, however, side... Hang on, let's see where it goes. Because it looks like it's tracking those guys again. Yep, no, it's going for the AI. It's going for that one right in the middle of the formation. Yeah, no, guys, it's fixed. No, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't, Gaijin, you silly fucks. That guy's not paying attention. I'd like my foresight mode, please. The radar proceeded to... I don't think that guy flew into the ground there. I lost track of him, though. Odd.
Our victory is near.
I think that's a friendly trying to lock me. Okay. You want a chaff and flare? We'll give you a fucking... We'll give you an L and see what happens. The L looks like it's tracking it. Nope, right at the last second. Hey, a gun kill for once. The fucking Vulcan is weird on the 16. I don't know. I really don't know. It feels like it requires more pull than you can really put in. Okay, so let's get the fuck out of this kill ball here, as I am now out of chaff and flares. The pre-flaring did its job, however, now I am out of chaff and flares to pre-flare. Okay, so it looks like actually there's only a handful of enemies left too. Good, our kill ball actually did its fucking job. Fantastic. But yes. Oh, the missiles will, mistakenly acquire other targets less often now. No! What do you know? It did it again! Ooh. Come on, go dead. Go dead. Go dead! Okay, good. Fucking fantastic. That was probably a 27. See, the thing is, I launched first, so my missile hit him first, and when he goes out, his radar goes out. The thing about the 27 ER is it's so fucking fast, he can fight over that if he's actually playing correctly. It didn't look like he got it off quite fast enough, though, so that's the kind of... That's the chancy shit with head-ons. That's the shit you actually have to watch out for. Who launches first is actually incredibly important. And then missile speed plus that is actually the next defining factor, which is why the 2070 ER is actually an advantage that the MiG has. The only problem is, once again, shittier radar set. So he may not be able to get it off reliably first, or it may just dump the lock for no apparent reason. But I'm out of chaff and flares, and we're out of the enemy team. So, we're going home. There's probably one guy going back to his base, and I wouldn't blame him if he just goes back to his base, lands, and J's the fuck out. As is now becoming customary, because why bother? The dude has to fight. We only lost 3 people. He has to fight essentially like 80% of the enemy team by himself. He's not winning. So, the gun's odd, and I feel like because of the fly-by-wire restrictions, it's really hard to put the lead in that you need to in order to hit people, and, well, he died. And F-14 probably hit him with a Phoenix or something at long range. Alright.
Operation complete.
3 kills, not bad. But, yeah, so, I don't really see a massive difference now that we're looking at it. There were a little bit of things that kind of look like it might be different here. I'm getting more garbage locks at low altitude, it seems like, but largely missile behavior has not changed, and also, as you saw, it was the same shit. Yeah, sure, me shooting at someone going sideways wasn't a great idea, but, the missile's search area is supposed to be tightened more so that it won't do what that first Sparrow did. Or that was what the patch notes led us to believe, but I guess it's bullshit, like most of the things in the It's Fixed fucking, whole fucking shenanigans. Like, no, it's not fixed. Remember that bug they said they fixed where you press cancel and leave a matchmaker and it won't, drag you into a match anyway after you've pressed it? That's not fixed, and a lot of other things aren't really all that fixed, so way to go, Gaijin. So, that's placebo, it seems like. Notch angles probably are a little bit better now, so that probably makes it easier to avoid targets, but it doesn't seem like missile behavior has really improved. The radar holding targets, when it should lock, it should dump the lock, we saw that, we had 2, one of the first games we played, and then just then in that match, it held the lock longer than it should because it started to pulse, and that means, oh no, I've lost the man. But it held there, and it also reacquired. The only problem is, the missile lost its track anyway, so what's the fucking difference? Oh, the radar kept lock on the man that I can't kill because my missile trashed. Big shit. So yeah, if the intention was to make radar missiles behave better, I believe that one has failed. The radar may behave a little better, I guess, but the missiles are still doing the same stupid shit, so nothing really changed. It might be a little bit more drastic if you're playing the Russian planes with bad radar sets, maybe, but as for me in the F-16, I noticed no difference whatsoever. The missiles will still, the Sparrows at least, will still do random stupid shit, basically of their own accord.
Allied Forces Operations Command.
Which, well, I suppose that's not a surprise, because it doesn't seem like the F-16 really needs a buff. So I probably shouldn't have been, expecting one. I really wasn't expecting one, but I shouldn't be surprised that it really isn't one. Because the F-16 appears to be the dominant, at least Tier 8 plane. Shit like the Tomcat and the MiG-23s, the floggers, that really all makes, are still better than the F-16 and the MiG-29, but the F-16 feels competent in that it can kinda sorta work as long as your team isn't shit. The Fulcrum, however, seems less able to carry its own. So, the previous planes that you're used to playing, the late model floggers and the F-14, those probably still, the better plane to be in if you had a choice. The F-16 at least kinda has a competent sort of niche that it can fly in as being a high-tier starfighter for really all practical concerns. But it didn't necessarily need a buff, but, well, I guess the buff wasn't really for me. Like I said, it was probably for the MiGs. Or at least the Fulcrums, who desperately need something good, because they don't really have anything. Okay, that is an enemy. But let's see if we can actually get the track on that. Okay, the missile launched. He's not heading directly sideways to us, so that is gonna track all the way to the target. But let's see if it actually hits. Oh lordy, she pulling. She's a pull. Okay, she's motors flared out. Is she gonna hit though? That's a solid lock all the way in. Do I get a hit? No, doesn't look like it. Yep, shot trashed. That's a lot of radar missiles coming towards me. Good lord. Yep. Nope. No hits on that one. He was moving too fast, and I guess the missile got confused by a shaft burst. Ooh, like that. Let's not. Let's not. Let's say we did, and not. That's a fulcrum. However, I'm being shot at by literally everyone in the 100-acre wood. Too many enemies, not enough teammates. Unfortunately, I flew into the enemy formation and they all turned around to re-engage, and my team was nowhere to be found. Well, I guess I should just kill enemies faster. See, that's the problem. You don't have infinite chaff and flares, and if you're in that situation, there's really no way out of it unless your team members are actually helping. So, it is just kind of a... We've degraded to the point where two enemy teams smack into each other and instantly decide the match, more or less. But, oh well, that's just the luck of the draw, honestly. That's it. I mean, I didn't get my missile kill. I wasn't able to actually require because I was trying to avoid more missiles. But at that point, honestly, in that situation, you can't really... You need to be able... You basically just, you know, sit there, not giving a fuck, firing missiles back at the missiles that are, you know, being shot at you. You can't really... You have such a limited scope or limited area to actually affect the match that you basically just have to play like a suicidal moron like that and not really avoid missiles like that, because it doesn't seem like radar missiles really did very much, or rather, radar missiles have changed all that much, so I suppose I shouldn't be too terrified, or rather more terrified than I was at them. Everything that you could possibly do, like rate fighting and flying defensively, really isn't helping you now. You need to win that first merge, and if you don't win that first merge, your team is basically fucked. Unfortunately, War Thunder is that shallow of a game that, yeah, no, that's how it goes. If you lose the first merge, it is very unlikely that your team is going to be able to actually come back from that, because most of the time, you take so many fucking casualties in the first merge that there's no real way for you to come back against the numerically, you know, superior enemy. And also, the fly-by-wire restrictions for this plane make it even worse. I'm less able to maneuver and respond to the shitload of threats that are around me, and so basically what I should do is basically just run the fucking gauntlet, survive or not, and if I survive and shit didn't go well, just fly back to the airbase and leave. Notch. Hey, we're playing Minecraft. Okay, so, where is the enemy formation? That is probably the AI. That is the friendly... Yeah, there they are. Alright, kids, let's get in there. That is a teensy tiny bit out of range. Let's try and go lower and see if that actually helps. Let's try and get really fucking close to the ground and see if that actually helps us defensively. That guy is also now in notch angle, so, well, the radar has picked up the, you know, continues to keep track, and there it goes, I think. No? Okay, it's reacquired. He's going for a base. It's probably a Phantom. Okay, so... Okay, that's, Okay, so it holds lock, but as you can see, I don't have a good enough shot to really... That's a little, let's see, you see that little terrain bump there? When he clears that, I'll take a shot. He's got nowhere to run after that. Since we're flying so low, we have to worry about Nape of the Earth. He could duck down and block the missile. This seems effective, and it's a Taiwanese F-16 doing bomb runs. Okay. That's a kill. The radar held when I didn't want it to. Okay, so we're in the fucking pipe now. Ooh, boy. I don't think I ran out of chaff and flares, but I was smashing the button and they weren't coming out. Oh well. I noticed the radar is sticking a lot more because I want to hop off the dead man and go back into ACM mode, but the game isn't inputting the key press like that. Yo, it sometimes will immediately go into Boresight mode and drop the lock like you want to, but other times it'll stick. So I then have to reach over and press the enter key, which is my radar on and off button, in order to dump the lock and actually do what I want. Another fucking amazing problem. Hey, Gaijin, could we actually have some quality of life? I know that's an amazingly daring concept in War Thunder. Quality of life adjustments. Wow. Who would have fucking guessed for War Thunder, right? Actually making the gameplay better rather than just mindlessly dumping content onto the system. Right? I know it's an amazing, daring concept, but hey, how about we fix the long-standing issues with the UI being retarded? Okay, thanks. Like, the missile launch bug? I'd kind of like that to stop fucking me over because it's doing it a lot. Actually, hey, I've got an idea. How about we make, I don't know, Sparrows and Sidewinders not have a warm-up period? Because in real life, they fucking don't. I mean, they do when you flip the fucking switch, but if anybody was heading into the situation in War Thunder, they would flip the fucking prep switch on the runway. That's where they'd hit the master arm, because they know inside of like 2 minutes they're going to be shooting at people, and that's about the same warm-up time that you need for a missile. In real life, when you switch between missiles, they're already ready to go. You switch between you hit the magic switch on your fucking dashboard to switch to Sidewinders. They're already fucking growling in your ear. They're ready to go. It'd be nice if we had that. They reduce the prep times for some of for some of the missiles a while back, but they still don't behave realistically. Also, you don't warm up Sparrows. You don't do that. You get the lock and you launch the fucking missile. They don't have warm-up periods. But I suppose due to anarchistic gameplay mechanics, we gotta still stick with the system that barely works sometimes. War Thunder's translators. Player, gameplay is bad. Fix everything. Translator, add more content. Don't fix game. Well, Krillberg, you're a new user, but you seem to know what's up. You're a new viewer, right? You seem to know what's up with the video game. Right, yeah, so it's just ignore problem, add new plane, or new tank, or the ever-popular add new boat that nobody fucking asked for. Oh, problems with video game? Nah, Tovarish, we will add new boat. It will fix everything. Tovarish, how does adding boat for failed game mode fix gameplay for other modes? It does not, however, it distracts the lemmings, so people complain on forum less, and we have less PR problem. Watched about 3 of your streams, so yeah, new. Well, good to have some new viewers. As some of you might be able to see, the viewer count for these early morning streams is quite low because I'm not actually, streaming to my usual audience. This is me just having odd hours currently that I need to fix. But it's nice to see that I'm pulling in some new people. Even if, well, there's not terrible amounts of new people. But if there's one thing I could do very easily, it's complain about War Thunder. Boy howdy. I actually started to sit down and, because of a certain person, challenging me to write a design document to fix War Thunder, I actually sat down and started to pen together my idea for a PvE mode that would actually be good. And also, not require a whole lot of new mechanics. Maybe I'll go into detail after we're done actually grinding this event, because this is going to take a bit. Okay, that man is nape of the air. Actually, no, he's not. Missile. That's gonna hit me now. Yep. I wanted to fire the missile and turn away, but the fucking UI screwed me up. He's fucking dead anyway, but that's just the ball game. Hey, Gaijin, could we fix that? Because, at top tier, the whole launch the missile first is really important, and I'd rather not have the engagement decided by your fucking UI killing me. Not a very hard fucking concept to grasp, right? I'd rather not have your shoddy UI elements fucking kill me. Especially when I know, in a realistic situation, I would not actually have to warm up or actually do that thing that I just did. I'd get the lock, I'd immediately launch the Sparrow, who would acquire the lock after it leaves the fucking plane, and there would be no warm-up period. You just rip all those shits off as fast as you possibly can. That's how they work. But, of course, because we have to be a balanced gameplay, except when we're trying to be, a balanced game and gameplay mechanics, rather than, when we're not trying to be realistic, so we say, and then the next day hopping back to we need to be gameplay focused again, which is War Thunder and World of Tanks and a lot of other fucking games of the genre. I know that it may be hard to let go of the encumbrances, or rather the planned encumbrances that you've put into the UI, but it'd be kind of nice to not have to worry about the UI fucking killing me when I should be able to shoot back, but the UI says no. You pressed a button twice, even though I didn't. I'd like to see your game design document on fixing War Thunder. It wouldn't be fixing War Thunder entirely, but it would be adding a PvE mode, which could be a PvE-VP mode if you really wanted it to, but I'd rather it shouldn't be. What's the mode? It's the holy grail that really should be in the game already, but Gaijin decided, nah, we're not going to try and focus on that. What's the holy grail? Every single vehicle class on one map. What's the only thing you can do with that? Amphibious landings. But what if it was amphibious landings that played like Rush? So you started off with planes and ships, and then hit a beach landing, then spawned with tanks, which then went forward and captured a bunch of control points while being supported by aircraft, and the ships are still out there, obviously, and they're, the ships still have objectives, which is control the beachhead. So they keep the spawn point alive. So the ships were still relevant, just off in another area. And then helicopters and planes could, hop between supporting the ships and supporting the ground elements, to keep the match going. This is a cooperative PvE mode, by the way, which I know is an alien fucking concept. It is the most shocking thing ever. But there's a lot of variations that you could actually put in that mode that, honestly, even if you had to have every map being an amphibious landing, it would be still actually pretty good. Like, imagine if you had, say, an amphibious landing operation on the city map. Wouldn't that be interesting? Like, you take over the port area, and then all of a sudden the tanks roll off the fucking beach into the city streets shooting at people. Planned, AI hard points, and maybe some guys running around trying to fucking, some guys respawning from the supply bases, causing a constant fire hose of units towards the attacking, players. Which, if the aircraft hopped over and bombed the supply bases, because they're just the bombing targets, they'd stop that flow of additional units and make the situation on the ground easier for the tank players. There's a lot of overlapping gameplay mechanics that you could actually put in that Gaijin's like, nah, we don't want to do that. You could actually do it with I could probably do it in the editor if I was spirited enough and knew enough about the spaghetti fucking code that is War Thunder. Might be possible you get good with the mission editor. I see. I see that as well, but again, that requires getting, good with the spaghetti code that is War Thunder and whatever fucking nonsense they put into the game, or rather keep into the game. F-16 BVR set to Freebird. Freebird stops when the UI, fails to launch a missile. Joke, it happens almost immediately. But so I got a little bit spirited and started to pen together a design document. It's a mess of words currently, but I could make it something a little bit more presentable to give you an idea of what I think War Thunder should be. And also, additionally, you would just kind of ignore the fact that, okay, look, War Thunder has gotten to the point where everybody's fighting each other, essentially, or nations are fighting themselves. So let's just drop the whole fucking act of having historical maps and just make interesting maps for gameplay. Because why am I fighting the British and the Swedes here? And even better, why am I fighting other U.S. planes? And then also on top of that, why are the Russians now fighting other Russian planes? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense, and really we should try and stop trying to make it make sense, because it doesn't. Ooh. Rambling too much, but oh well. Imagine a multiplayer campaign mode, like fighting over borders and stuff. Oh, you mean like World War mode should have been? That's another thing as well. So imagine this for World War mode. What if we had a sort of a community-driven event, right? Where there would be a world map, and you would choose where you want to fight, or at the beginning of the campaign, you would choose a side. So Warsaw Pact, NATO, or just, blue team, red team. Imagine if then you were given battles, or rather, locations that you could fight over, and basically you would win, or rather you would progress in the event by playing matches while say, okay, I'm gonna fight on this side, and I'm gonna fight over this area, and then you would play matches in the matchmaker, and based on your points and total point calculations, your total point, your total point, you know what I mean. Sorry, it's early and I'm running on coffee. But your total points and what you do in those matches, how well you do, your match, results, assisted your team in basically filling up a bar, and whichever team filled up the bar higher before the deadline, let's say like 3 days. So 3 days, everybody selects an area to fight over, and then both teams just play matches. Whoever gets more points at the end wins the area, and then we move on to the next area. Like, World War mode probably should have been. Remember that? The idea is tilting me, reminding me of what CW was in that game. Yeah, remember, see, we didn't want clan wars. Nobody really gives two flying fucks. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who desired clan wars, but that's not what would have made the game better for everyone, and really, it's just stupid. So we should have events driven like that, and that would actually be interesting. Even more so, which would be interesting if you had it, if you had, say, okay, we're gonna be playing on this map with this arrangement, in the special events tab. So basically, the map grid or the map selection was an event you play, and then depending on the results of said event, or like the combined total event, the combined total effort of one team versus another decided who won, and then we'd move forward or backwards. The lines on the map would move, side to side there, and then, we'd progress towards the end of the event, either winning by total annihilation or superiority of territory, and then the winning team would get a prize. This sounds a little bit more interesting than just grinding for, what we're doing right now. I mean, generally speaking, it's the same thing, but there's more of a thing here, right? There's more emphasis put on actually communicating with the community and playing alongside your fellow man. Imagine Star Wars Battlefront 2 Conquest Mode, but in War Thunder. Right, we could do something like that, but Gaijin said, no, we don't want to do something like that. We want to do things like put further content into a failed game mode, which is naval. But again, I'm getting distracted here. We need to do this fucking event here. We could talk all we want until, after. We need 30,000 points. But, so, I've got ideas that would make War Thunder better. The only problem is nobody's listened to little old me. This map. This map is very important. Do you know why? Because this is not a historical map. It's not trying to capture an event or anything like that. What is it doing? It's presenting a situation with interesting map geometry, i.e. the canyon. That shit! We need more of this shit! This map! Not necessarily enduring conflict, because unfortunately enduring conflict in realistic battle is half-assed, so it's not really all that enjoyable. But War Thunder's map design needs to tilt to this in all modes. Let's stop pretending and saying that we're capturing history when America is fighting America. And Russia is fighting Russia. NATO allies are fighting each other for no apparent reason. Let's stop pretending, and let's move on and actually acknowledge what War Thunder is. It's the machines fighting, not the nations the machines are from. Sound better? This map, I think, is a very good step in a direction for map design, because it's not trying to be something that, isn't really all that useful. It's not trying to be presentable or realistic in capturing some kind of historical event. It's just a map with a big, stupid fucking canyon in it. And also, funny how it works out that things that fly in the air still are actually affected by map geometry. It makes things interesting. We can't have floating islands and still be presentable, but we can still do things like, say, hoodoos, which are basically more or less towering, weathered rocks in the desert. If you're flying at low altitude, you're gonna have to weave in between them, and that creates interesting situations for dogfights to happen. Also, say, like, big stupid cave systems like in Ace Combat, though we should probably not go too nuts with that. It'd be funny to have a Death Star run where you fly through a bunch of fucking tunnels into an underground facility and then have dogfights with people in said underground facility. But that would look a little fucking silly, wouldn't it? So there's a limit. Have you heard about Micropose's Carrier Command? Yeah, I haven't played it since it's never on sale when I actually have money to go into it. But I know about Carrier Command. Right, Dracomancer, that could be something that they could do. Like, if shit, it could be as easy as, oh, winning a territory gives you a fucking supply loot crate full of boosters. Ooh, that does help you, but it's not terribly hard to fathom that. You get a free crate if your team wins. A very good free crate.
Incoming message from Allied Forces
Huh.
Operations Command.
Interesting, Pope Dorito. I'll have a look at that. Is there a mountain range map? Yeah, it's basically this one. So yeah, what do we have here? We have the silly canyon from Area 88, that old standby meme of air combat. Even though Area 88 is not a thing. Area 88 is not a realistic anime. It tries to be an exciting piece of entertainment, but, well, we don't have missiles physically impact planes that often, and we don't have a giant fence as an air defense unit. But the Canyon Run captures the imagination of literally everyone, and so this is why we have things like this in Ace Combat, as has become tradition, and now we have this. So what we need, honestly, is more maps with interesting terrain elements like this, and another thing is the city map! Remember dogfighting in City? Though, really, we rarely get the map these days. It's back into rotation now, but remember that? You know, weaving in between the buildings and whatnot? Remember how that's interesting? We need more of that shit for air combat. Granted, high-altitude dogfights are still kind of the norm, and you're nowhere near the ground, so it doesn't fucking matter. But that would be interesting, especially if you were doing a PvE mode, say, supporting ground units, forcing you to be nearer to the ground than, you know, the climb war would allow you to be. So, funny as it is, map geometry can still positively affect the gameplay of, you know, air units who fly in the air nowhere near the ground, usually. However, you can kind of encourage or, you know, force players to fly closer to the ground by giving them objectives. Like, for example, what if, say, we were doing, like, Tango Line, if you remember that mission from Ace Combat 4, where there were dudes in little ships inside the canyon that you had to run into the canyon in order to get, you know, shots on. Wouldn't that be interesting? I know ground attack doesn't matter in ARB, but wouldn't that be neat? Like, imagine if there were, like little convoys of little, you know, blue water, or rather, coastal defense, you know, mosquito fleet ships. Imagine if there were little convoys of PT boats moving up and down this river. Wouldn't that be neat? So, the fucked up thing is you can have tons of ideas for War Thunder, but it looks like Gaijin doesn't really care about any of them. But I suppose this is what passes time for me. Spirited rambling and complaining about War Thunder. Though I have good ideas, and well, maybe maybe I'll actually release publicly the design document once I get it actually presentable. Make some nice, arrange some nice font and page layout. Maybe some helpful, descriptive images. Make it look all nice and official. Wow. Target fixation much. Oof. Also, since I'm sitting here burning Afterburner, I am now on the other side of the map, and I have seen no enemies.
We're winning.
But at least that idea for fighting over, selected areas, that would at least make a new event rather than the crafting events and the grinding events that we have already. Granted, it's still basically a grinding event, but it feels a tad different, don't you think? And hell, these guys can be creative about making events. Hell, look at the April Fool's events, and that Wacky Dune event, that probably sure had a lot of work put into it, but does that really affect the game? No, because it's a single one-off event we'll never see again. See, Gaijin can put effort in, but they're all retarded Russians, and they only put effort in when they want to, rather than when they should. The more they don't listen, the more actual leaked military documents will be posted on their forums, yes. Posting classified documents will continue until the game improves. That's still funny it happens, but it shows how much people give a fuck about War Thunder. We like it to not be a stupid game and actually do things we want it to do, to the point where people will put themselves in legal hot water to say, no, fuck you, it should be better than this. My thing should be better than this. It shows you how much people care, and that's a good thing. The only problem is, unfortunately, Gaijin doesn't really actually warrant that amount of, investment and care most of the time, because they are really just sitting on their asses, not telling anybody, mainly because they don't want people to know their plans, because they want to just sit there and take as much time to do some stupid fucking thing, as they want, and not actually have anybody rush them. Which means most of the time, they're doing nothing of value. They just don't want you to know that. That was a missile. I didn't know. I notched it, but that was a missile. Oof. That got fucking close.
Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
I didn't see the missile appear, but I notched it successfully. Go me. I only have 7 minutes of fuel thanks to me, being Area 88. Oh, well, hello. Well, the enemy team has found us. Unfortunately, it looks like the rest of my team is also dead, too, so this is going to be kind of odd. I'd like to fire the missile. Too late! Again, I shouldn't have to do that with a Sparrow, but Gaijin's stupid UI says, no, you've got to wait. You've got to wait to give the guy a chance to get away, even though, holy shit, what? Do you know how much these planes cost? Do you know how much time and effort we put into making sure the enemy isn't going to have a chance to respawn? I was dead anyway. I was fucking dead anyway. They're all fucking dead. Doesn't fucking matter. I effectively wasted the entire match flying down the stupid canyon. Doesn't matter. I could have gotten a kill there, but at the end of the day, really doesn't matter. We weren't going to win anyway. And that's why Enduring Conflict is kind of half-assed. See, it feels like they're so unimaginative that they're resistant to put in large map space because they only see, oh, well, everyone just wants the merge, so that's just making it harder to get to the merge and useless space in between, fighting. Well, we don't really want to do that for most of our matches because everybody only wants the air combat, right? Except, what you could do is you could design maps with interesting side objectives. I know! Objectives other than killing the enemy team that could possibly matter. Whoa! I know. Jesus fucking Christ, what an astounding concept. You could arrange your maps differently, make more interesting map geometry, like you can do, because City exists, and now Rocky Canyon exists. You could put interesting things in those maps to fill up that space, rather than it just being flyover country until your team reaches the merge. But, again, they don't see this! They only think, oh, well, that's just, everyone just wants to hold W and fly towards the enemy, and that's all that everyone wants to do. Meanwhile, once again, this is confirmation bias because it's all they let us do. It's all we have time to do, because nothing else matters. Or at least won't matter fast enough to compete with everyone on one team dies. That's the major flaw of War Thunder that has not been fixed for years. They keep ignoring this concept, and they think, oh, well, everyone's playing this way, so they must like this way, so we won't change this way. Change anything about this, even though they really should. I ramble about this every fucking time. But again, it's down to confirmation bias and really to you guys are just being lazy fuckers that want any excuse not to really seriously think about their game. Or only seriously think about their game when it's a big stupid joke, like shit like the Dune event, which, granted, was entertaining. However, hey guys, maybe we want to put that same creative energy into fixing the fucking game and making it better, Maybe we want to do that rather than making some stupid reference to an RTS game most of the player base was not alive to play in its heyday. But, who am I? I'm a killjoy. Oh, let us have our stupid fun playing events, working hard to do make those events and nowhere else in the game. We just want to put in, effort this one time for our own kicks and then go back to doing fuck all. Shut up! Stop ruining our fun. No, fuck you. Do more work. You could do more work. You fucking proved it. So what's the deal, guys? Why does Naval still suck as a game mode? Why is it barely a game mode? Why have we still not have... Why hasn't helicopter PvE really gone anywhere since it's been into the game for months? It's probably slowly improving in the background, but why is that concept not being brought to other modes? What happened to Enduring Conflict realistic battle with no markers? What happened to those PvE missions that you were trialing out earlier, What happened to all that shit? Where is it? What are you doing? Nothing! They don't want to tell us, so they just conveniently shut the fuck up and pay attention and not answer the questions. Or they hand wave it like stupid shit like, oh, well, you don't need BVR missiles in the F-16. Your side has the F-14. Completely disregarding the fact that America fights itself on a daily basis. So, oh right, that other plane that's supposed to balance out your characteristics and, you know, support you is on the enemy team, thereby compounding your weaknesses. But that's why we have the F-16 ADF now. So that got changed at the last fucking minute. But really what they want to do is they want to sit on their ass doing nothing of value unless they're personally enthused by it. And they just want to shut up and, you know, pretend they're not hearing the questions that people are asking and just play dumb. Doing all right, I'm having a spirited ramble this morning. There goes the radar. I know he's up there. Where's the man? I know he's there. Where is the man? There is the man. Up, down, around. Where did he go? I have lost the man. Somebody fired a missile at me and I barely avoided it by flying straight. Amazing. Uh-oh.
We're ahead of the enemy.
That looked like it was going somewhere else, but oh well. Got too focused and flew over the entire enemy team. Oh well. See, there are do's and don'ts, honestly. And it feels like, honestly, as much as I like to bolt through with the afterburner, usually it just puts you in a bad situation. So honestly, what you need to do is actually step off the burner and just kind of fly with your team until the merge happens. Then you're able to do something, because you're not getting out of the way of most missiles in an F-16. But I'm just sitting here shooting the shit, and also, I should probably go get my breakfast. Be right back. All right, I'm back. My morning sip. Perhaps it will allow me to concentrate more rather than sitting here bitching mindlessly at War Thunder, as I always do. We're having terrible matches, but... Well, this is unfortunately just going to be the bulk of playing for the event, because we're just playing the matches and we're seeing what we get out of it. We can very easily have a good match intermittently, however, we're just kind of flying around and I'm just talking. Because I have a lot of ideas for War Thunder that could actually seriously help the game. The only problem is Gaijin doesn't want to do anything. They want to do what they want, and then hide in a corner invisible when they don't actually get to do what they want. And every time you try and highlight them, they will either completely ignore your criticism, or say some stupid shit to imply that, oh, shut up, player, have another boat. That should be good enough for you. Why are you complaining so much? Have another boat.
Incoming message from Allied Forces Operations Command.
Now, granted, not every idea the community comes up with is good or even passable. However, there are things that War Thunder can do with only modest modifications that actually utilize a whole lot of mechanics everyone understands. Like, for example, bomb target. Drop bomb on bomb target. Everybody knows that, right? Everybody immediately sees that icon over there and knows drop bomb on it. Even though that doesn't really help you a lot of the ways and is only like a mediocre way of grinding when you don't have a fighter or your stock, right? But everybody knows drop bomb on that, right? Everybody knows how to do that, right? Okay, so what if we made that spawn units that were bothering tank players and the air players had to come over and bomb this in order to stifle the flow of enemy units? Be easy, right? You wouldn't have to tell them that. It's just, here's a bomb target, blow it to smithereens. You don't even know you don't even have to know what the fuck it does. You already know, bomb that. That's important. Ooh, points. You don't even fucking have to know what you're doing. They want to be TF2 where they just throw a hat in their community every 2 months and everyone rejoices. Yeah, pretty much. But, you see, I had this idea a long time ago, and I looked at the mission editor, and it is a massive mess of shit that really has a lot of poor documentation for. So, you could rig this up, but I could rig up a prototype, and it probably would be fairly interesting. The only problem is, I'm gonna have to take a couple of months to understand Gaijin's retarded code. So it'd probably be janky, but it'd probably get across a lot of things that I'd actually want to get across, or want to have. It would utilize, on some level, all forms of vehicles in the game, which is a mode we don't have yet, or rather we'll probably never have, because they don't really seem to want to commit to the idea, even though they did. The only reason Navy still gets development is because we have to pretend like we're a combined arms game in that capacity, even when we're not. But there are interesting things that you could do with map design to facilitate different styles of gameplay, even if, yes, every map has to be an amphibious landing, but that's not that bad either. And you could very easily, have a couple of maps that nix the boats entirely and are just, ground vehicles and air vehicles. You could do that. You mix it up a bit. That's a bunch of missiles flying around. Good lord. There's a man over here, and I don't fucking see him. There he is. I launched first. Dodge. You're not dodging. Well, now you're dodging, but it's a little late. And unfortunately, I wasn't looking at that other guy, but I got a kill anyway. Oh well. Really, at the end of the day, most of the time, most players are just going to be doing merge trades like that, and that's it. And depending on who wins more merge trades, each team wins. It decides who wins. Because at the end of the day, it's who comes out of the first merge with more people. Okay, that team wins. You could have more decisive gameplay, and at lower tiers, you will have more decisive gameplay because things are moving a little slower, and not everybody is relentlessly as effective as these planes are. But again, we're at the top tier here. This is where the game should be going and advancing in concepts. Why is this the weakest link in the chain? Like I said, you basically you got to the top tier to play Arrow 1 battles, where everybody's just instantly killing each other. It just happens a lot fucking faster. An old insult that we all threw at the game, and is still totally valid, Realistic Battle is slowly becoming Arcade Plus, or really already is Arcade Plus, because of how fucking easy and quick the matches are. really, you played all through the, all the eras of aircraft to arrive at arcade mode with one life. That's really all this is. Granted, most people, they say that, oh, we enjoy, rinse and repeat, quick, over and done gameplay. But that's the only, that's because that's the only fucking thing people have ever gotten to them. And if they have to grind for their objectives, that's what they want. If it, they don't want enduring conflict with no substantial, increases in rewards. Because that's just the same mode that takes longer. But you see, Gaijin's trying to strangle the economy to death, so they don't really see this. They don't want to give people more rewards. In fact, they want to give people less when they can get away with it.
You're all clear to engage.
Well, as I was sitting thinking, I've got not just a map, but a formula that I'm working on that it has basically a stage of gameplay mechanics, or rather map-driven gameplay mechanics, because they're the mode exists in phases. We always just move forward, like Rush, for example. But I can provide you a gameplay formula for you, and variations on that formula, for you to design completely different maps, aside from just the one that I'm trying to articulate to you to cleanly define what the game mode is. For example, the first phase of the game is the archipelago, because it happens over water, and having a bunch of islands in front of you makes ship gameplay more interesting than just having a big flat area of ocean that you just sail through straight. A little bit more interesting. So having to weave around islands, having them block line of sight, in detriment or benefit to you, because, the enemy can't shoot you if they can't see you, but you can't shoot them. You might need a breather, though, so sometimes that's good to have. Or, on top of that, having these little islands have, little coastal defenses that shoot at you. Shelling land-based targets in naval battles. Wow! It's almost like we should already have that, but Gaijin's map design says, nah, fuck that, nah, that's stupid. Oh yeah, by the way, what about that, as for, naval gameplay, what about that whole zombie problem that's being solved now, but was kind of prevalent, where people just engaged the AI targeting for their main guns, pointed the ship forward, and walked the fuck away from the computer? What an amazingly diverse game. Oh wait, no it's not. If it can be defeated just like that by just kind of sailing forward and leaving the AI guns to aim your gun, leaving the AI to aim your guns, I think the game mode needs to be more complicated, just saying. Just saying. Hey radar. Reacquire? It looks like it is reacquiring. Okay. I'm seeing it honestly hop onto friendly targets like that more often. I think I'm gonna get that kill. I got that kill. The UI did not fuck me today. Hooray! And now I'm running away very quickly. Ooh. Nope. Oh, a tornado. He needs help. So you know what? Fine. I can't A pull while I pass the enemy formation like that, but I got my kills and the tornado he needs help. The tornado is absolutely garbage currently, and the only reason we're working for the event tornado is because it has radar-guided anti-ship missiles, which is an interesting novelty. That's the only reason I want it. And it would be very helpful if you were playing this new imaginary mode that I'm thinking of. However, anti-ship missiles already exist at top tier in a lot of aircraft. Well, at least the Russian ones, honestly. The Russians have anti-ship missiles that, the Yak-38 has one, and a couple of other planes have them. Are they useful? No. Why? Because you don't fight ships. I could imagine you a use for them, wherein, well, let's say there's a bunch of ships guarding this beach that you're trying to get into, and the Navy players and the air players have to cooperate to bomb the ever-loving shit out of them. Like this little area here. Like, imagine if you had to escort a bunch of, ships to actually land on this map, land in the city, like the AI's doing. that no one cares about because that mission objective doesn't fucking mean anything anymore. But imagine if you had to escort these guys in and you had a bunch of ships that were in the harbor there, big scary ships that you needed to get rid of real fucking quick. You'd probably want an anti-ship missile to huck at them, wouldn't you? And imagine that maybe over here somewhere, as is on this map, there's a spawn point that's continuously spitting out waves of enemy ships that will, try and counterattack and take your control point away from you. So you had to go over there and shoot something that looks like the Pacific maps with the Japanese fleets? Well, Japanese and American fleets that act as airfields that you can sink with torpedoes and it will end the game if you do that? What if we made those areas that you could target with ships and aircraft to stop the enemy from continuously fucking trying to kill you? Wow, it's almost like that's an interesting, multi-layer mechanic where you're trying to accomplish multiple objectives at once, and multiple different classes of vehicle are actually, contributing at the same time in different ways. Wow, it's almost like that gameplay is half complex, but no, we want to fly straight at the merge as fast as humanly possible. That's the only thing we want to do. No, we want to take off, stay on afterburner the whole time, fly directly towards the enemy airbase, get our kills, slam into enemy planes, and then leave. No! The only current area it is useful is custom battles, which, granted, there is a community, but why would you want to play custom battles aside from the unique, the things that people do with the mission editor are unique, but you're not getting any rewards, you're not really making any progress, it's just for novelty at the end of the day. So it really, at the end of the day, doesn't matter no matter how much creativity is there. Gaijin doesn't take their ideas and make them into anything, so really it's just pissing into the, pissing off into a fucking corner no one's paying attention into. Attention to. Why bother? Navy players requires Naval to develop enough to reach 10.0 at the bare minimum. You could introduce a game mode that honestly, that works fine with current naval ships. Because really, at the end of the day, what are you missing with Navy ships? Vertical launch tubes and anti-ship missiles fired from other boats. Otherwise, you're actually more engaged because everybody just shoots guns at each other. You could have ships that are only go up to where they are right now and still have an engaging gameplay experience. There's no problem whatsoever. In fact, it would be more because you would be forced to actually engage in dangerous situations with guns rather than just sit there firing missiles pedestrianly at the enemy units. So frankly, it would be more engaging if you had the handicap of we don't have Ticonderogas. Oh no! I can't just sit on my ass and let half the ship do my work for me. Oh no! I don't have a fucking Kirov class with 1 billion vertical launch tubes. Whatever shall I do? And frankly, AA on most top tier ships is already fucking terrifying as it is. So yeah, having Sea Sparrows and whatnot would be helpful, but you don't really need them either. Also, the AI really isn't as... The AI also needs to improve considerably, because they can't really handle top-tier gameplay at all because they were never designed to. Fancy that. They don't know how to chaff and flares. They don't know how to fire missiles. They don't know how to fly helicopters. They don't know how to do any of this shit because it hasn't mattered and it requires work for people to actually have. Man's dead. Okay. Thank you, teammates. Successful teams and free jazz.
Victory is near.
I wanted to kill him, but the game was basically over. So at that point, I managed to unconsciously enter the merge, get a couple of kills, and, well, I have 1 kill, but that's it. That's apparently what Gaijin thinks that top-tier gameplay should be, and the only thing it should be.
Enemy forces eliminated.
Would
Nice
I
work,
like to
Golf
take this
team.
more seriously? Yes, I would. I doubt people would enjoy being blasted with air-launched ASMs in their World War II DDs. I mean, yes, but this is why you have, I don't know, it being a cooperative mode where it's at least the AI. And again, you have sensible balancing in some cases where you only let the really capable ships do that. And until, yeah, you want to nix the anti-ship missiles most likely, but you would like to also have things like, I don't know, AI units that can fire surface-to-air missiles at air players, like we should already honestly have, and the only thing we have is the only thing we have currently is the Roland, which really isn't actually an IR missile or a radar-guided missile. It just uses it for guidance, for initial guidance, and really what the man is doing is looking at you with a laser pointer. That's why it's so fucking hard to avoid. So, hey, where are those AI units for air players? I mean, you can leave the anti-ship missiles to stop bullying the ships until they have proper defenses for it, but where's my Sam Valley? Not here yet. So yeah, you could probably stand to leave the anti-ship missiles fired against players, obviously, until we actually have proper Sea Whiz units for, ships at lower tier. However, we don't need them in order to create a compelling gameplay experience. You can just put a handicap in there to get it to function, and it works just fine. Because really, at the end of the day, War Thunder is nothing if not a bunch of stupid fucking situational band-aids and handicaps put over gameplay that really shouldn't be doing what it's doing. So really, where's the change, guys? Oh yeah, also right, that Douglas that has anti-ship and anti-air missiles. They can put more of those in real quick. Actually, the Spaviero should actually have those missiles too, but they don't. Like the, whatchamacallit. Actually, all variations of the, what is it? What's the name of the base ship model again? Because it's American, I can't remember what it is. The hydrofoil. The Spaviero is the Italian name for it, but I can't remember exactly what the US designation for it was. But the thing is, it should also have anti-ship missiles, but it doesn't. And then we also have that very nice pasta boat that does actually have missiles too. Hey! You know that tiny little dinky mosquito boat with the fucking anti-ship missiles in it that, well, barely work because they haven't been adjusted and HE has been changed several times. But hey, we actually do have those ships. We just kind of abruptly stopped developing them because Gaijin thought, what if we change gears entirely and put in battleships into our stupid failed game mode? That would at least distract the players from the stupid failed game mode. They have, ooh, big ship. Meanwhile, the game mode isn't really any better and in fact is getting worse. That appears to be holding track just fine. We're in front of a bunch of teammates, so that's not going anywhere near the target. It's side-lobing again. That almost hit a fucking friendly! It's fit. No, it isn't. Go fuck yourself. No, it isn't. Oh, we changed the radar, so now it'll do that. No, they didn't. I don't know what they did, but they didn't do what they thought they did. I'm just gonna pre-flare until I get the fuck away from these guys, and hopefully there's nobody behind me. Well, I got a guy at 4 kilometers. That's actually tracking that Wow, okay. That was the... We got the Magic Aim 9L, and then unfortunately we got killed. We got the Magic Aim 9L that ignored all flares. Unfortunately, that is the only kill we get. Oh well. I'm not terribly hyper-competitive today, mainly because I know this shit don't really matter anyway. We'll have 1 or 2 good games. Kronstadt single-handedly strangling Naval in its entirety to death. what a surprise, it's stupid and also horribly unbalanced. You know, and also it'd be a nice break from, you know, the PvP shitfest to actually have a PvE mode. But again, this requires them developing their AI into doing things that it was never designed to do. So that's probably the biggest detriment to actually having proper PvE modes, because they actually have to adjust the fucking ancient AI code that still cheats. You see AI planes flying in ways that are kind of impossible, they still cheat. So even if I present to you the perfect game mode that will, in fact, actually function totally fine in the way that I intended, Gadget's probably not going to look at it. Even if I manage to somehow wrangle the perfect example, perfect functioning, 100% correct, and fun game mode, there's still a very good chance that Gaijin will go, nah, because they don't want to do work. Or they want to do work when it suits them, or they're personally entertained. See the Dune event. Which, hey, those models we only saw once. Yeah, that was rather interesting, wasn't it? I bet they cost a pretty penny and took a little bit to actually put together. Why did we get them instead of, you know, meaningful content and updates to the game? Oh, it's because the developers thought it'd be funny. That's it. It's nice that we have events like that, but we only see those events once. And all the work put into those events could really help the game out in some of the problems that continue to plague the game. And I've been here since 2013, and I can tell you a lot of the problems that the game had back in 2013 are still around. Actually, I have a random question for you, Phontomen. Shoot.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
If you could pick a call sign, what would you actually pick for yours? I think Arma has already kind of put this made this a reality, since everybody, I'm not sure if they started calling me that first or I picked it, but yeah, whatchamacallit. Showman just got stuck on my head, so I suppose I'm keeping that. Again, it was just kind of an idea for a character that wasn't terribly good, but people started to actually call me that, so it's not necessarily narcissism. So it's kind of half and half. I like the name, it sounds cool, but also people called me that first, so... Showman would be mine, if I could pick, but the thing about that is almost nobody picks their own fucking call sign, because who the fuck are you? Who's the fuck are you? Also, additionally, perfect example, I have this wonderful little coaster here that says, well, you can't see it because it's reversed, but it says Snowman instead of Showman, because somebody made it a whoops. But see, it's already there. So if you want to be Showman, sure, you could be the sideshow. Exactly the response that I would expect out of serious fighter pilots. I say something that sounds cool and interesting, and then somebody immediately turns it around and makes it a joke. Just call sign things. Failed to track entirely. That man dropped his bombs in a hurry, though. Oh boy. I'm sorry, Tornado, you must die. Or... I guess not! I got plenty of missiles, though! Ah, Magic L. You made me waste my sparrows, but I got the Magic L! Instant regret in Twitter posts!
Awesome. Attention to the map.
Yeah, Sort, that'd be it. Some people, you know, I'd say, oh, well, call me Showman, that's what my friends call me. Well, nah, you're Sideshow Bob now, says everyone else. And that sticks. That's entirely what I would expect out of actual pilots, which is why I don't seriously hold on to that idea. Yeah, sounds cool. Would the other people let me have that? Probably not. Because that's really not how call signs work. You don't pick your own. You are bestowed a call sign by people who equally like you and, well, think you're an asshole. Nope. Nice trade, though. Once again, magic L's. Boy howdy, these Twitter posts did not age well. Uh-oh. Well, good. Only one flare was needed. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm moving slow enough. Oh, no, he's moving even slower. Wait, no, I've got cornering speed. Ooh, boy. Okay, drag that in. I need to go faster. Okay, I need to be at like 420. Unfortunately, now I'm being locked by someone. Hopefully it dips for his friend, because I don't have any chaff or flares. I can sit here doing this all fucking day, but I'm probably gonna get third-partied by some dumb motherfucker. Actually, no, it looks like it's one of my teammates attempting to lock the MiG, but failing, and locking me. So, wow, I actually can drag this out. He's gotta extend to get out of this. And he's got an advantage in extending, but he had to extend to get out of that because, haha, fly-by-wire. But thankfully, I'm so slow that he can actually extend like that and get away. However, I can still fire a missile at him. I'm just gonna wait. Because he can dip nape of the earth now and dodge it. And hopefully... nope, there are the flares. And that one's probably gonna hit. Yep, third time's the charm with that one. And there was a fourth, a fifth, and the sixth was about to come off my wing. That's what happens when you're alone. You only have so much chaff and flares, and you can only avoid so many missiles fired at you.
Operation complete.
So that dude
Well
had
done.
5 missiles fired at him, and I had a 6th. I just held back because I knew he was gonna flare it. I was looking for an opportune time. It didn't appear. But that's what happens when you get, you know, lopsided engagements like that, because your team fucking died. And unfortunately, in the F-16 and MiG-29, there is very little you could, actually even less than you could do normally. Because you are stuck with your fly-by-wire restrictions, and so you can't fucking turn. Okay, so 20,000 points. We're halfway there. We're dragging ass here, but oh well. It's an odd day. We'll get to that event, and unfortunately, I'll be doing all the other all the other stages probably off screen until probably the last one. Abouts. This will be 5. We need 8 to get the tornado. Will I get the skin? Probably not going to be trying for it, but in playing the tornado, I probably will get it.
Prepare to engage.
Is the camo for the vehicle special, or should I take 2 days off War Thunder? Well, I don't think there's a way you can get it after the event, but you could probably buy it for Golden Eagles. It's that white camouflage they have in the screenshots with the, the German flag on it. It doesn't really look all that good, honestly. I like the stock camouflage more. If you personally like it, you can go for it. However, I'm just gonna stick with the, that sort of dull blue camouflage they have. I like that more.
Incoming message from Allied Forces Operations Command.
This is a little, pushing it. Because the fun thing about BVR combat is you don't actually want to do what I'm doing right now, because it forces you to commit. You could get a kill like this, and it's very funny if you do. But it forces you to commit to an engagement for an extended period of time, which will stop you from reacting to other threats appearing around you. However, it is worth it if you get the kill. However, a lot of times there's so much shit that can go wrong that you will not get the kill. Like, I don't even think that Sparrow's tracking properly. I can't see it, but I don't think it is. It's probably headed towards one of the AI. Okay, that was a radar missile, and it failed to track. I'm gonna say the shot trashed. I'm gonna fire another one. That will track, but yeah, good luck with that. That's in. Or it isn't. Oh well. I flared, it didn't go for it. You see, you could BVR, but the game honestly doesn't want you to. War Thunder wants this mechanic. The only problem is they don't want games decided entirely by BVR combat before the merge happens. That's the one thing they're trying to do, so it's gamified to shit and back, and honestly, launching a Sparrow at like 25 kilometers or longer is usually a waste of time. You will get a kill sometimes, just like you will get kills with Phoenixes. But that's fucking gambling with the Phoenixes, and it's still the same thing with the Sparrows. So, there's really no point in doing that, and like I said, I committed myself to an engagement that wasn't really a good idea. So while you can shoot from that distance, largely it really doesn't work for any effect. So really, honestly, what you're doing is your close range, head-on aspect, bore sighting a radar missile along with your IR missiles, and that's it. There's unfortunately so much shit that can go wrong at long range in this game specifically, because unlike a realistic scenario, a lot of things about the game are accentuated because it realizes it's an arcade game. Doesn't really want to admit it half the time, but it is. And, this causes a lot of weird-ass eccentricities to, fuck with the radar missile, and to the point where you most of the time won't get the kill, even though for the first couple of days people were really unprepared for how fucking effective the F-16's radar is. They're starting to wise up a bit. And it looks like, honestly, I feel like the problems with radar have increased, if anything, rather than actually being an assistance to me or anyone else. So, So what are we? We're a starfighter. We're a starfighter with extra missiles. We're the Italian ASA that can have 4 Ls and 2 Sparrows rather than 2 Ls and... Honestly, I'm not sure if I can actually have the Sparrows in any other missile. I don't know. But basically a starfighter with advanced missiles. And a really good radar. However, radar is an RNG-driven mechanic, so... not as good of a situation as you'd hope. So I'm going to lock the man, and we're gonna wait. That's friendly's locking me, but we're with the kill ball. This guy is closing, but I want to get over the mountain before I huck a shot at him. Or wait until he does something stupid, like pulls up. Okay, he is dumping flare. Actually, he's dead. He smashed into the ground. Wow, okay. He hit a tree, also. Good thing my teammate got that. I thought that was the assholes behind me again. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see that come frontally. That's a notch we want to avoid. I think I already dumped it, but let's not do that. Because the Tomcats behind me were locking me or setting off my RWR, and I didn't see the MiG firing at me frontally. Seems like everybody else is having a bunch of trouble actually getting a lock on me, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. Okay, that's not coming to me. That Sparrow is not tracking at all. That's going off in some other random ass direction. And he's already dead. Okay. I'm just sitting here spamming missiles as fast as I possibly can, because it's really it. That's War Thunder top tier gameplay. Just spam missile. Ooh! Oh! I didn't get close enough to proxy. Dang. Alright, well, now we just gun. Unfortunately, we went to the casino and we didn't get any fucking money. So now we actually have to use the gun. He's locking me, but is he gonna do anything? No. That guy's gonna be a problem. That actually, that's a Harrier. I didn't see that.
It's winning.
Well, I've got one. I've got one. And now we're gonna be doing circles fights with this. This is a dumb idea. Especially when there's other enemies around. You can't do that. I thought my teammates could probably equalize it, but you see, you can't do that. You can't start a turn fight with someone and not have somebody else intervene like that. You have to wait until you know that that is the last guy around. I tried, but that's what I get for trying. That's top tier gameplay. You spam your missiles, and you try and get kills. If you don't get any missile kills, you are probably the worst fucking plane in the game for gun kills. So, you got a fucking problem. You need a lot of setup and a lot of things going right for you to actually get into a gun position fight. Because you suck. You cannot pull like other planes can pull. So they can pull more, they can pull away from your gun faster than you can pull on them. Unless they're stupid, or you start firing and you hit that magic pixel right on the fucking head. I've done it a couple of times, but it's honestly by accident. I have no idea what the fuck's going on with the lead for the F-16. It's almost like it's designed to have a fucking radar-guided gun sight, but we can't have that. So, I could have understood something like a Harrier as a plane to use against ground targets, since it came to it, you could hold yourself up in a dogfight. Yeah, the Harrier can, if you're viffing properly, fight and, defend itself. It's just that it's going to be disadvantaged. It's going to be flying defensively more than the guy attacking it, especially if they don't try and turn fight it like, don't try and turn fight with it like I did. The only problem is I was out of missiles, so if I was going to extend out to maintain speed, I was going home. There was no engagement. But why pick an A-10? Because people are stupid and they want to pretend that War Thunder is a more diverse game than it actually is. The A-10 is, it has a lot of ammo and it has Mavericks and can be good at ground attack, but for the most part, games aren't decided by ground attack, and you are too slow to really affect the outcome of the game. At least up here. Playing at 9.7, you're so fucking, the situation moves a bit slower so that you can kind of maybe get a word in edgewise, and you have the AIM-9Ls. But you're not really optimally playing the game like that. It's a stupid novelty that really should be better, but isn't, because the gameplay is so horrendously designed against it. There's really no point. Most people fly the A-10 as a joke, or they're just stupid enough to think it's a good idea. When really, most of the time, it isn't, unless you actually are playing at 9.7 and below. Then you got something. Then you've just got a really slow plane with very good missiles. But then you're not using an A-10 like you should use an A-10. You're using it as a crippled fighter with some advantages, not the A-10. So if it looks like a stupid choice, it is. Some people can make it work, but for the vast majority of the time, you really shouldn't be doing that. You're just kind of handicapping yourself for, I don't know, your own kicks. Okay, 23. That's that guy trying to lock me and trying to lock enemies out there and failing. Okay, 16 kilometers. That guy's in a head-on. Actually, he's turning away. Is he going to? No. Okay. He hasn't jumped the lock. He didn't. Nope. There we go again. And then the missile just fell into the ground. Thanks. No, I feel like the radar's worse now. I feel like, honestly, the radar is malfunctioning more often than it did. Not even close. And I wasn't looking and I got slammed. Oh well. He died too. Welcome to War Thunder. So yeah, guys, this may be a bit forward of me, But I think the recent changes for the patch today, I think they were largely nerfs. They may they may try to pose it as, oh well, notch angles were buffed, and the radar will target enemies, inadvertently target other things less often. No. I feel like my radar is swapping targets more often when they get close to each other, which, granted, this isn't an AESA set, so it isn't, like a fucking rock concert for radar scans. So it's not the most advanced, accurate thing in the world, but I feel like it's switching targets more often. It's dipping at low altitudes more often than it did before, so it's failing to track at low altitude more than it was before. And the missiles going retarded seemingly just as often, if not more. So this was actually a nerf to radar missiles. That they don't want to tell you is a nerf, but it's a nerf. I see no change, or in some cases it feels like it's gotten worse. Which is probably intentional, because holy shit, the number of F-16s with damn near guaranteed radar kills was probably absolutely awful to everyone not in an F-16. That, yeah, you could see that. So I feel like this is a stealth nerf, and they kind of wanted you to think, oh well, no, we're helping you. We're answering the complaints in our community. We're listening to our community. No, they're fucking not. This is a nerf. Is the griping in the game? No, but it probably will soon be. Honestly, just like shit like the Rafale and the Typhoon and anything else. War Thunder has no cutoff date. Just give them a bit. They don't want to tell you that they're working on anything because they don't want to be rushed. Because, oh no. Oh no. War Thunder actually having to keep to deadlines and actually having to make promises, commit to them, and actually come through on them for the community. Oh no. No, we're gonna sit in the back like a bunch of fucking neats, not tell anyone what we're doing, and come in with more content randomly as a surprise. That way, if no one knows our plan, we can't be held accountable if our plans go to shit. Amazing strategy, Tuvorish! That's War Thunder. So, we could do stealth. We could honestly 100% go right to stealth aircraft, go right to F-22s. I don't think the PAC-FA is actually a stealth plane. It's more of an anti-stealth plane, but I don't think, we could go right up there. J-20s, whatever the fuck. We could go right up there. Honestly, what's going to happen is that stealth planes will just make radar stupid. It's already stupid, so it doesn't really change very much, but that's what stealth planes will do. They'll just make radar stupid. They're just already the planes that we're playing in the game. It'll be like suddenly we're all playing lower tier games where we have to hunt the dot rather than actually rely on radar to find the target for us. That's the only thing it will do. So, flying, competing against somebody who has like an F-117, a Nighthawk, is basically going to be, I know the bomber's out there, but I can't see him. He's not appearing on my radar. I'm gonna have to spot the dot to find the fucking Nighthawk, who, funny enough, is a black dot. So, we could go right up to planes that don't even fucking exist, like that wacky Tempest thing that the Europors are putting together, that doesn't exist, but it's basically a Delta Wing F-22. We could do that. War Thunder has 0 cutoff date. And anytime they try to say that, oh, well, no, we don't want to add that, it's too advanced, they're stalling for time. Isn't the Gripen one of the best planes in the world at the moment? I don't think anyone really has the authority to say anything about aircraft performance now, because let's be entirely honest. Absolutely none of the late 4th generation or currently the 5th generation, aircraft have actually gotten into a legitimate shooting war. So we don't really know what the fuck is actually going to work. Or what the performance is, aside from mock battles, which may or may not be representational to the actual combat situations. Hell, the war in Ukraine right now is basically shit Russian tech versus shit Russian tech. That's it! I kind of want to see a Delta Wing F-22 now. Well, one already exists as a design concept, but the Tempest, I think, is the name. I think that's being made by BAE, or rather was proposed by BAE a couple of years ago, is effectively just a European Raptor that's a Delta Wing. And some half-fancy Javelins and Anlaws for Europe. Yeah, it's more of a showcase for ground ground technology rather than aircraft. Because, hey, we're nearly a year into the war, and the airspace is still contested. Because the Russians are incompetent, and the Ukrainians don't have enough planes. It's a fucking cripple fight, really. But we still have instances like a major Russian bomber base being hit by a drone, and apparently they lit something up on the parking ramp. The glory of modern combat. Fucking silly model silly model airplane blows up blackjack on runway. Yeah, I think everybody feels bad for Ukraine, but at least they're actually winning. God bless them. It's basically just a slow march to the inevitable now, from what I've seen. From what I've seen of things, because every time the Ukrainians mount a major offensive, the Russians immediately retreat. So it's only a matter of time before they mount so many offensives that the Russians have no land, and then the war's over. What happens then, I have no idea, but the Russians, they don't seem to be making smart decisions or really any decisions at all. I don't know what they're doing, but it's not anything smart. Tempest looks like the second coming of the Javelin. Yeah, that's kind of the same, aspects, I suppose. But we can have things like that technically don't exist. War Thunder could do that in a heartbeat, because for the vast majority of the time here, especially as we go forward, a lot of the aircraft performance capabilities are still classified. So really, at the end of the day, War Thunder is going to be making shit up. So, what's the difference, guys? We're already making paper aircraft because we don't actually have any of the performance statistics. So, why not just keep making shit up? Is that my missile? No, it wasn't. That was somebody else's missile. I don't know where my Sparrow went. Boy, I'd love to have vertical scan high right about now. I could have locked that Su-17 already. I'd like to fire the missile today. Here is an L. Here is another L. That one actually connected. Enjoy your L. Yeah, I think everyone's shocked by how poorly Russia is doing, because this entire operation was supposed to scare everyone, and it's honestly doing the opposite. But they're so stuck in it that they won't retreat, or, they're committing to a loss out of pride, basically. That's it. Don't you know missiles are flares? This is a dumb idea, but I kind of have to do this in order to avoid pulling directly in front of that fucking thing. Oh well. He has the same radar as me. So really, the EJ Kai is kind of an F-16 that has more missiles. So that's the super awesome secret skill plane that you should be flying right now, but it doesn't really matter all that much. How can you have the nerve to attack first without cause or warning with the advantage and have a 180 pulled on you? Well, that's because Russia clearly basically overestimated its own strength. Because the Russian military, the modern Russian Federation military, is a bunch of crooks lying to each other. That's all it is. And so it's just a sea of lying, and, everyone still suspected that they were as strong as they were, or relatively as strong as they were, during the heydays of the Soviet Union. They had all these resources, they have all this manpower, and they would, if they engaged in a shooting war, they would immediately throw it and smother anyone that wasn't the combined NATO force. Now we see that they're so shit that they can't even handle us. They can't even handle Ukraine, which is a former state of their own, and also not the most well-supplied state ever. Realistically speaking, if Russia started World War III right now, and it was a conventional shooting war, no nuclear exchanges allowed, they would not make it through Poland, and that's fucking hilarious. frankly, every military planner on the NATO side looked at the situation, looked at the situation in Ukraine developing, and probably fell over laughing. That's probably the reality of the situation, because they are just so bad at everything, and they're getting worse. And people like to say, oh, well, if things get really bad, Russia will fully mobilize, and then the situation may turn in the favor of the Russians. No, not really, because they can't even supply the conscripts we're already throwing out there. They're being thrown out there without radios, without equipment, without shelter, without proper supplies or anything, and at any time a serious advance comes their way, everybody retreats. Or just mass surrenders. It's just going to get worse. So, we could talk about modern politics all day, but frankly, I knew from the first week where Kiev suddenly wasn't captured and the VDV was being pushed over major objectives like Istanbul, and things weren't necessarily happening the way you would expect they were. Like, why would a bunch of Hinds blow up an airfield that the VDV supposedly already captured and had totally under control? Maybe they don't actually have the situation under control. Maybe there's something going on here. Everyone, of course, said, no, Phonto, that's stupid. Russia is Russia. It's Russia. They wouldn't have setbacks against a minor second world country, honestly. They wouldn't fuck this up that royally, and they did. But I almost immediately, I knew something was wrong, even if we didn't, shoot down hordes of fucking IL-76s full of VDV troopers. Even if that's all bullshit, there was something horribly wrong from the get-go, and what do you know, we're still in this situation. I saw a helmet with this is a toy helmet disclaimer. Oof. Apparently, that's actually basically a gaff. That actually is a real helmet, but this is a toy to avoid export restriction. So apparently those are that's real equipment, but they're just putting the sticker there so nobody gets penalized for sending the Russians desperately needed supplies, because apparently they don't really have any. So Russia's not doing well. I kind of saw this coming, like, a handful of days into the war when, well, Ukraine didn't immediately surrender, or wasn't immediately crippled in the strike. Yeah, hey guys, this looks a little funny. I think if the Russians were going to win, they would have already done so, right? And here we are almost a year later, and they're losing horribly. So, yeah, this was a surprise to everyone. And honestly, it pays to mention that the United States and basically everyone else was prepared to leave the Ukrainians for dead. Before the Russian invasion actually began, we had orders to our embassy to evacuate and burn all documents and destroy all computers. We were going to leave them for dead, which means that, entirely to their own credit, the Ukrainian forces defended their own country, and everyone else only hopped in to help them. Aside from the Polish. The Polish were running guns basically the night of the invasion, but everyone only hopped in to help them once it looked like, oh wait, Russia is actually shit. Hey guys, I've got a funny idea. Let's cripple the Russian military forever.
Attention to the designated grid square.
The Ukrainians have their own country because they fought for their own country, and God bless them. We were gonna leave them for fucking dead, and we still have Germany basically being, no, I don't want to piss off Russia because I want my cheap gas, says environmental Germany. So really, what this has showcased us is that the geopolitical situation is nowhere near a Tom Clancy novel. In fact, Tom Clancy would probably be laughing his ass off right now and just be making statements like, I was totally wrong, guys. Because, yeah, Tom Clancy looks flattering. Hell, even my own writing for the Voskhodestian, my pseudo-Russian made-up nation, looks flattering on Russia right now. Who is admittedly doing some of the dumb things that I imagined would be kind of a tough sell to people. Like, a modern military wouldn't be this stupid, right? Right? No, apparently. They would be this dumb. Though admittedly, some ex-military and the like apparently snuck their way into Ukraine territory to help out with the war. Yeah, no, mercs are in there. They're doing their job, and at the end of the day, they're going to have all the glory because they went in to help them. And what do you know? They picked the right fucking side. Meanwhile, Wagner is just hilarious. I haven't heard Wagner do a single thing of actual value. Usually it's them fucking up somehow. So, The Russian mercenaries suck. Ours are doing pretty good to at least mediocrely in terms of the situation. They don't have a lot of supplies, but they're getting shit done, and they're probably making a great amount of bank. So anybody else that, you know, hopped in there to help the Ukrainians, if they're not dead, they're gonna be walking out with glory and a shit ton of money. Good for them. But again, for the vast majority of the situation, yeah, Ukraine exists because the Ukrainian military actually managed to hold their own. Well, that looked like it was gonna track, but I couldn't reacquire in time. It also locked a teammate behind the dude I was. There it goes again! They nerfed. There it goes again! They nerfed radar. They nerfed radar. This is a nerf. They nerfed radar. There's no possible way that this isn't a nerf. They just didn't want to tell you. You know why? Because all the fulcrums were being killed by F-16s. Oh no, we can't fucking A-pull or fly defensively. Ah, Sparrow herd. Meanwhile, I'm having a grand old time fighting F-16s of other makes because everyone was flying F-16s and not fulcrums. But this is a nerf. It's probably to help the fulcrum out, but they don't want to say that. Okay, that looked like it was heading towards me, but alright, fine, we're good. Unfortunately, it don't look like I'm going to be able to get into a good shooting range. Magic L! Okay. That man shot the Magic L that ignored all flares. Today, I got the Magic L. But you saw, my shots were all just getting totally fucked by friendlies crossing into the line of fire, which wasn't happening as often before. So, yeah, they fucking nerfed radar. But yep, Draco, that's our old standby, as it were, during World War II. The armory of the free world. However, unfortunately, this is not straight and all above the belt, and honestly, the U.S. government and the military-industrial complex does not really deserve any massive amounts of credit for what they're doing. Yes, sure, we are providing arms to Ukraine, and it is helping. However, we could be doing this more, but stupid statecraft. Not just geopolitical shenanigans, statecraft. Statecraft is causing people to try and game the system, and it's prolonging the war, even if the Ukrainians are going to win. But now it's down to, I think the plan is, drag this shit out as long as possible, but still wind up with a Ukrainian victory, so that Russia literally cannot do this to anyone ever again. Or at least for another decade or two. Because they have lost so much men and equipment that they're not coming back from this anytime soon. They will not be able to really seriously threaten anyone ever again. Or at least, again, for the next, 20 years. It looks like Imperial Russia out there, which is a fucking joke. So, probably what we're doing here is, unfortunately, we're choosing prolonging the fight to bleed Russia as white as humanly possible, which, unfortunately, is at the expense of the Ukrainians who need to suffer with this shit for longer than they really should have. But in the end, it will make sure that everybody is safer, and Russia doesn't have the equipment or the political clout to really threaten anyone seriously ever again. Finland is in fucking NATO now. And so now it's pretty clear that anything that Russia does to, threaten any of the smaller neighboring states or Finland will just go unanswered or laughed at. Like Vladimir Putin going, "Oh, Finland, if you do not agree with us, we will nuke you." Finland. Signs up with NATO. NATO exercises on the Russian-Finland border. That's it. So they're fucked. They're totally fucked. The problem with the Kremlin is that they are too stupid to learn from their own mistakes, which they will suffer horribly for. Russia's essentially done now. They look like a fucking laughingstock that can only really... They look like an absolutely huge third world country now. All of those potential things that the Russians or rather everyone thought the Russians have, the massive population advantage in terms of manpower and resources have all come to naught. They don't have any of it. So in the end, they can't really threaten anybody. And though this is incredibly unfortunate, it's probably better this happened because Red Team, as it were, Russia, China, anybody that doesn't like us, North Korea, for example, they were showcased as totally fucking incompetent and incapable of actually doing anything. Taiwan is still probably free right now, mainly because the Chinese looked at the Russians and went, Guys, are we actually, real talk, are we actually good? Because what if that happens to us? And so we get a lot of saber rattling and propaganda, but no actual military moves. Red Team got just slapped in the face, and they're probably taking a very hard look at themselves, going, "Guys, you wouldn't be lying to me about our effectiveness, would you? Because it would be very bad if we actually got into a shooting war and died horribly, right? We could actually take me, right? You better double check. We could stop the fighting, or we could make Russia bleed out. Pretty much, yeah. The long-term game here, most likely for Blue Team, NATO, and everyone else at large, is probably drag this out so long that the Russian Federation collapses, which would be fucking astounding. But the Russian plan is probably stall and wait for international support to wane so that they actually have an advantage, which probably isn't going to happen. But again, the Russians are dumb. So it's probably as much a stupid plan that isn't going to work out, as much as it is, we cannot retreat now. Think of the ramifications, Tavarish. But generally speaking, it is unfortunate that this war had to happen in the first place. However, it's made everyone very safe now, because now first world nations, or rather supposed first world nations, actually have to review all of their military capabilities, and doubt has been placed in the air for, the strength of all these nations that may actually want to come to blows. Doubt has been placed, and doubt will most likely stop a whole lot of wars down the line. It's a shame that we actually had to have a shooting war where people are actually dying out there in order to do this, but in the end, this means that the whole world is a lot safer now because stupid people got slapped upside the head and reminded of their own incompetence. So that now that everybody's actually afraid of embarrassing themselves and losing wars, there'll be less wars. Can't tell if it's gonna stop all wars, but there will be less wars. No! I thought that missile was going somewhere else, but oh well. I was chaffing and flaring. I think the biggest laugh I had from this was how much Russia tried to cope with when everyone put embargoes on them. We are self-sufficient. No, they're not. How this war started was Russia saw itself in an advantageous position. They thought they were, again, as good as they were in the Soviet days, which, no. But additionally, they had become economically intertwined with Europe. And so they thought that if they actually threw their weight around, no one would actually do anything because they would be afraid to upset the economic, partnerships between Russia and Europe as a whole. Effectively, what they were gaming is that everyone would act like Germany. We didn't. And suddenly, Russia is in a very bad spot. But I think that's what was going on in Vladimir Putin's head. He thought, because of the situation in globalism, the globalists had handed him an advantage, and they didn't expect him to actually, push back on it or take advantage of it. He thought he was slick, and, well, unfortunately, literally everything worked against him. But I guess the moral of the story is that everyone is fucking retarded. We shouldn't have given Russia that much of an advantage to work with. We should maintain our energy independence and shouldn't hop in to the PSYOP that is green energy. No, maybe you should have your own energy independence within your own borders and not just outsource literally everything, looking at you, Germany, and your nuclear reactors that you are now regretting. Maybe we shouldn't actually do that. But a lot of other things shouldn't have happened anyway. So this means that the governments of all nations everywhere, Russia, the United States, Europe as a whole, China, everyone's stupid. Everyone is stupid. And if you thought that we were past the kind of mindsets and incompetence that you would have seen last century, you were wrong. No, we are not past that. We have not grown more mature or more capable, smarter, better. No, we are still as dumb as we were. We haven't improved as a species. End of story. And any indication, like, I'm a millennial, there was this strange sort of air about how the world was articulated to me growing up. That all of this bad shit that was happening all over the world, we were past that, right? Gulf War Round 1, when I was this was the 90s, late 90s, so Gulf War Round 1, no, we don't do wars like that anymore. We don't have major disagreements, or we don't have these stupid, these stupid political fucking shitfests that wind up getting people killed and lives ruined. No, we're better than that. We're past that. And then, whoa, the future is upon us with green energy and all this other shit. The sexual revolution in general was another fucking cherry on top of all this nonsense. Which, you can fuck whatever you want, but really, you can't tell me all of this stuff was sensible to begin with. I don't care about your own personal choices, but, some people could actually point out that, maybe the whole feminism thing that started all this nonsense in, like, the late 2000s, right? The whole push for women and equality, that didn't actually go anywhere, and it was a lot of hot air and horse shit, right? You see, but we were moving towards a more equal, more prosperous, smarter, maturer age. Or that's at least what they told me in elementary school. But looking at the situation now, again, to be political and taking a moment away from playing my silly, stupid European grind simulators, we're just as dumb as we were the last century. We haven't really moved, and so I guess there goes all of that, but some people want to desperately pretend that, like, we are. I guess they don't want to give it up. They don't see it yet. Or rather, they see it and they don't want to admit it, because it means that their self-importance is diminished. Because they want to be the generation that does all of this amazing things and changes the world, because that's what we were told in school, as a millennial anyway. I'm not sure exactly how it is for everyone else, but as a kid growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, that's the mood in the US, at least as far as I can say. That was the mood that was articulated to us. Everything was going to be fine. We were going to, abolish all borders, one world, one village, holding hands across the world and singing Kumbaya and shit like that. But that was just as much of an illusion during the 70s and the 80s as it was then, and it still is. Some people don't want to admit it because they felt important when people told us that. They gave us every indication that we would be the generation to change the world and do all of these important things and advance the human race and all this other shit that you could possibly come up with. Colonize Mars, abolish racism, things like that. They said that we would do this, and some people actually believed it. But as we look around, no. Some people are absolutely determined to keep the lie going because they need it. They need it for some reason. They need to think that they're destined to do these things when very clearly no one is. Did they nerf radar missiles? Well, yes, now getting back to War Thunder, as soon as that stupid political rant that I was on. No, they nerfed them. It's a nerf. Oh god, is it a nerf. The radar malfunctions. The Sparrows seem to track unintentional targets more often. They will hop onto friendlies crossing in your frontal arc more often, and just a whole bunch of other shit that gets in the way. So, it's a nerf. Again, back to the gameplay. I suppose it's okay if I have a spirited rant about the current day and age once in a while, but I also gotta play the video games. Because we're mostly doing a lot of dying, and not really getting very much. We have those points for that event that we actually have to get, right? Even though the tornado is kind of just a novelty and not actually a good plan. I think some of those are enemies, and not the AI, but they're kind of close. Anybody out and... Anybody over here? Nope. Alright, so we're gonna do something interesting. We're gonna turn away from the kill ball, and I'm gonna circle around and come back at it. If I do this correctly, my theory is that I will be facing the enemy as they have turned in to engage our kill ball, and thus will be in a head-on aspect, and they will not as easily notch my missiles. Again, let the game turn around for me. Amazing, amazing realistic air combat! How's the snowstorm doing in NA? I live in Florida, so like I would know. It got cold for a couple of days, though. But in Florida, that's like, ooh, it's 50 degrees. Oh, fuck! I'm from New York, so I know what cold is. Or rather, what some cold is like. So I know it's kind of a joke down here. There it goes again. It locked onto a fucking wreck. It locked onto a dead man! So all those situations where you were kind of picking targets out of this merge here, around friendlies, yeah, that shit don't happen no more. And there goes both of my sparrows, and then a missile just kind of appeared behind me. You saw that, right? My sparrow, which was perfectly on target, the radar decided, ooh, a dead guy. That didn't happen before. So, if you wanted to know what the newest patch did, it nerfed radar. This is a nerf. They don't want to tell you. They framed it like it wasn't a nerf, but it's a nerf. Do you know why? Because the Sparrows were getting too many kills. The F-16s and the Sparrows were getting too many kills. That's what happened. Because if you were paying attention since the patch drop, you'd notice, yeah, the F-16s are doing really fucking well because their radar system was very reliable. And all of a sudden, yeah, the Russians were getting slammed every time they didn't have F-16s on their team to help them out. They'd win sometimes, but not as often. You have large portions of fights that were one-sided in favor of the side with the most F-16s. So this is a nerf. They don't want to tell you it's a nerf, but yet again, it's one of Gaijin's super underhanded, slick maneuvers that makes it sound like they're buffing something, makes it sound like they're working in your favor, but actually no. So where the fuck are we while I'm sitting here rambling? Oh, dear Lord, we haven't done fuck all. Oh, well. Alright, so let's try that again for the billionth time here. I'm doing more rambling than playing the game, but we're over a week into the event, so, well, we're not exactly going to be doing amazing, gripping gameplay here. I guess I needed me a ramble. Just so you know that I'm actually a person that exists in current year, around current year events and politics. Can't fucking help myself talking about the real world when I should be playing the video games. But I suppose it doesn't really matter anyway. Not a whole lot of people listen to little old me. Now they get all their news and entertainment from anime girls on the internet, don't you know? That's what the kids want. A very extravagant puppet show, if I'm going to be entirely accurate. Granted, some of them are very entertaining puppet shows, and they're very good entertainers. Hats off to you ladies. But it's a very extravagant puppet show for adults. That's the AI, I think. There's there's the enemy. Okay. Let's try that opposed turn maneuver again, right? Let's waste some time at high speed, right? Let's just fly off towards the map boundary, honestly, and then have the game turn us around. We should be, again, as far away from the enemy formation as humanly possible while being in the front aspect at about the time they have merged with our team and are in front aspect us. That's a friendly. So let's be stupid and think outside the box. War Thunder, a realistic air combat? No! No, this is a stupid video game. So let's yet again find an excuse to game the map boundary real quick here. Unfortunately, it looks like the map boundary is a little bit too far out here for me to actually get to it. All that Alright, well actually no, this isn't one of the maps with the hysterically large dead zone filled with nothing that Gaijin thinks is a compelling gameplay addition. Wow, a bunch of map that you have no reason to go near and has nothing of value in it. Wow, what an amazing addition! I hear Sergey says that we have increased loading times uselessly for these maps by 15%. What an amazing addition. See, the fucked up thing is that air realistic battle maps, because they're trying to be realistic in some capacity, are actually less interesting than some arcade maps, which, genuinely speaking, actually have interesting geometry to them and thus affect gameplay in positive ways, honestly. So it's kind of funny how the stupid arcade maps are actually better thought out than the RB maps. But like I said, one major thing that War Thunder needs to stop doing is pretending that this is in any way sort of a historical shit. Holy shit, multiple teammates dead. Wow, okay. Holy shit, 2 blue on blues at the same time. Wow, shit, I better get in there before I don't get any fucking kills. Gaming the map boundary? Yo, advantageous position? Nah, man, I need to get into the merge before all the dudes are fucking dead. I need to get in there and get some kills before the entire team. Actually, there's only one guy left. Where is he? I wasted so much time, everybody's fucking dead. Ah. Up there. Yes, you, sir. I would like to actually have a firing solution on the target that is... Well, actually, no, he's at notch angle. That's why. Come on, turn. Turn. Turn a little bit. That might be... I've got a second sparrow. But come on, turn. He's turning. He was notching it coming in, but I might actually get the kill. Oh, come on. Wait, no, that one flew off target. Fuck that. Remember, it's not a buff. He's turned away again. He's notched the missile. I don't know where the other sparrow went, but it's not anywhere fucking near me. So, okay, we're just gonna be sitting here rippling missiles at this guy. We're looking for that magic L. Come on. Actually, he doesn't look like he has flares at all, so that's going to kill him. Or he's outrunning it. No, he managed to actually avoid that. Wow, amazing. I've got more missiles, though. I'm throwing... There we go. Hello, welcome to War Thunder, where it's now a gacha shit game, where I'm just throwing fucking... I'm just throwing Saint Quartz in for 10 pulls until I get the fucking girl I want. Except here, I'm throwing missiles at the dude until one of them finds him. Boy, I needed to get in there quick, though, because you saw that the enemy team fucking evaporated. Radar got nerfed. You know why? Because the F-16s were doing so good. They don't want to tell you that, though. But radar got nerfed. You saw that? Both Sparrows went stupid for really no reason at all. Yeah, sure, he managed to notch one. However, he was still going the same direction. The second one never tracked him at all. So, this is a nerf. Creating a nuclear winter, wouldn't it be good against climate change in a way? Heck, yeah, yes, but the only problem is with nuclear winter, afterwards you have to deal with the problem. That wonderful thing called ultraviolet spring, where we don't have a fucking atmosphere no more. That's kind of a problem. That's kind of like the hole in the ozone layer in the 80s, but 10 times fucking worse. Are you using the Ace Combat mod? Yes, because it makes War Thunder almost feel like a better game. You can close your eyes and listen to the soundtrack of a better game about planes, and pretend that War Thunder, for a moment, is kind of, sort of, at least kind of on par with that game. And when the games are actually good, The illusion really, really works, man. It's really, really like I'm lying to myself very well. Right? It's like a high-priced whore. It's a high-priced whore that's very good at doing the whole girlfriend routine. It's almost like it's really, really like I have a functioning relationship, but nope, I'm just paying the woman. She's just very good for her money. But yeah, that's kind of what the mod does. It's a very good lie. So unfortunately, it now seems that we know, well, it now seems that our plane got worse because it was doing too well. I mean, granted, I had a, what's my win ratio in this motherfucker? Because last time I checked, it was like 74. Where am I? Okay, 80F. 69, nice. 69 with, well, unfortunately, my kill to death ratio was like 1 to 5, but now it's closed in a bit. A lot of deaths with no kills, but that's still a positive KD. That's still like a little bit under 3 to 1. So, yeah, that's kind of a, with fucking what, 200, almost 200 battles? Oh, actually over 200 battles. Yeah, that's a pretty good sample size for how the plane's doing. 70% win rate with over 200 battles? Yeah, I think the plane's really fucking good. So I think the Gaijin metrics went, whoop, we need to nerf the F-16s! And thus the radar adjustments, which they had the audacity to actually pose it as a buff. Oh, the Sparrows will track, unnecessary targets less often now. No, they do it seemingly just as often, if not more, and the radar will misbehave more too. The radar will actually hop on to other, you see, that is the joke. I get it now. Right. So the Sparrows will actually still track unintentional targets now. But you see, the reason why is because your radar is hopping targets. So it's actually going after the intentional target because your radar is locking some other fucking dude rather than the dude you wanted to kill. But that means the Sparrow is 100% on target. Fucking Vladimir's used aircraft salesman. So you see, the Sparrows are actually behaving better, but the radar is picking up other targets unintentionally. But the Sparrow is, in fact, tracking those targets better. It's just that those weren't the dudes you wanted to fucking kill. So once again, we have an amazingly slick Gaijin play that wants to hide the real reason why they made changes, because it would be too much. It would be too much to actually admit, yeah, guys, the F-16's really wrecking people, and we kind of need to nerf you, even though, I think that the multi-million-dollar plane by General Dynamics is really good for valid reasons. It's a very expensive plane. It's almost like there's a reason for that. Is that gonna hit? It did. It took a fucking long-ass way around, didn't it, though? Track the EJ, track the EJ, track the EJ, that's side aspect, heater. I'm notching that missile on the side. No, I wasn't, but it doesn't look like the EJ's paying attention, and I got to. I thought I was notching that missile, but I didn't. Good luck! Don't fly into the fucking ground! He flew into the ground. I saved the teammate that died, and that was it. Okay. It didn't matter, because I died as the game ended. So, it would appear that Gaijin has attempted to fuck us once again. Probably because the Fulcrum is actually garbage, and for some reason they want to keep to the realism that is the fly-by-wire controls. The main reason why the Fulcrum sucks so much is that its radar sucks. They can't historically give it a better radar. Well, they could, but they're trying to pretend to maybe have a little bit of subtlety about evening this out. But just like the Flogger can't do half the shit that it does in War Thunder in real life, Hey, you know that variable geometry wing that makes you turn really well in War Thunder? Yeah, if you pull that at high-speed maneuvers, in a real life, a flogger's wings will snap right the fuck off, or jam. Yeah, those are only for landing. But it seems as though, right, they can't give the MiG a better radar without actually just being totally just completely, dropping the mask and buffing something, from a gameplay standpoint, and not with any realism. They can't give it any other missiles because they can't. They've proven that the R-73 is impossible to balance currently. It will be back, but currently, it is impossible to balance. And so the F-16 has all of the advantages currently if we have two crippled planes. And the biggest thing against the Fulcrum is that it's supposed to be a very maneuverable fighter. However, they slapped it with the fly-by-wire restrictions, so she can only pull 10 Gs. That means she can't effectively do her one-circle bullshit against the vast majority of people she fights, because everyone else isn't the fly-by-wire plane, aside from the F-16. So that means the Fulcrum has no advantages. But so, what do you do in this situation? Well, you look at the other plane, the F-16, that had a very nice functioning radar and very good missiles, failing its maneuverability test because it was still handling like a brick because I have the same restrictions. It's just that I have better armament than him. Yeah. You just nerf me, right? That fixed the problem. You make me suck more, and that lessens the strain against the Fulcrum players, which they don't want to admit, but that's what they've done. Nerfing radar for me hurts me more than it does the Fulcrum, because the Fulcrum already had a shit radar. It doesn't really change much. My success was dependent on my ability to use my radar and nail fuckers with sparrows reliably. That's why I'm good. They took that away from me. So, unfortunately, here we are with another it's not a nerf, guys, it's fixed situation where no, it's a nerf. And Pigeon Grenade, we are dealing with an unfortunate nerf to the F-16 that they totally tried to pose as a buff. We're too fucking cool, and the Fulcrum players need a break. The stupid Russians were complaining that they couldn't fight me, even though, yeah, that's what happens when you spend a hilarious amount of money to develop a plane. You usually get something good. Or at least with good eccentricities. Again, she's very, very, very expensive for a reason. And a lot of countries buy her because she's good. Why is everyone flying American planes rather than, domestically developing their own planes? That's because buying the American planes are very good. Buying the planes that are very good is cheaper than trying to develop your own aviation industry if you don't have one. So, I wonder if that's the reason why literally everyone is using American planes. Or everyone that isn't using Slav shit, and most of the time it's because that's cheaper to get a hold of. Thanks to the whole fire sale era at the end of the, the whole Soviet Union thing. And on top of that, most of them had old stocks of Soviet equipment too when the whole thing came down on their heads. So they already had lots of shit, they already have the training and infrastructure, why change? The answer is air-to-air nukes, yes, right. The answer is make it only one merge. One merge. Okay, that guy is turning around and trying to run away. He's probably gonna notch the missile because he's gonna be turning sideways to me. However, he's not quite notched the missile. However, he's still out of range because he's moving inside out. He's moving in rear aspect now. That means the missile has to try harder to catch up with him because it's moving away rather than coming forward. So, he's technically speaking out of my range, but I don't really want to fire at him at this range anyway. So we're gonna try and track that guy, but he's gone. It looks as though the Phoenix has actually found targets. Good lord. That guy got 2 fucking Phoenix kills. My god. The luck on that man. That guy's already won the game even before the game was actually being played, man. That is just amazing luck. Funny as hell, too. Okay, so I know there's a guy over there, but he hasn't reappeared. Oh, there he is. Foresight mode. That's tracking. It's not pulling. It's gone into the dirt. There's a missile. Does he have flares? Nope, there they go. But nope, Magic L. Nope. It pulled for the flares. It went, nah, just fucking with you. And hit the man anyway. Okay. Thank you, Magic L's. Again, it's not, as you saw, we get a lot of misses, but you will have that one missile that ignores the flares and still hits the man. That's only, as you see, with the Sparrows being nerfed, indirectly, that's really all we got. Oh boy, tornadoes. I'd like to fire the missile, please. Thank you. That should be too close for him to do anything about. Is it good? It looks like it's tracking. It's tracking. It's good. All right, let's get the fuck out of here before I get acquired by somebody. That MiG-23 is looking in this direction, but hopefully I can get the fuck out of here before he actually hops on my ass. No, he's pulling away. Good. Fantastic. Boy, howdy, is he panicking? Is the missile still gonna hit him, though? Ah! Too defensive. Way too defensive. That was mine. I had something to do with that. I made him so scared that he flew into the ground.
The enemy is winning.
But what can you do in a tornado? It's actually awful. Immune to flares? Sounds like America. That guy has really no fucking idea. They're really not that good. You will get that one missile that actually tracks, though. But that's like, I want to say like 25% of the time. That's not even really like most of the missiles you fire. So, the L's aren't that good. It's just funny when they work like that.
I'm sorry.
They have the possibility of rejecting flares, but it's not a guarantee. Maybe if they introduce the M, things will be a little bit better, since that's basically just the L, but it has more flare rejection. So maybe then we get reliable, I don't care about your flares at that point, but that's not now. And at that point, the enemy's gonna get, you know, the Russians are gonna get the R-73, and then we got a problem. Because they have off-bore capability, and we don't get that for a while.
Return to base.
I've been playing Cosmotier. Well, are you enjoying yourself, Pigeon Grenade? Because I did. Unfortunately, I didn't really go nowhere, and unfortunately, Games Early Access, so there really isn't much content aside from the initial stages of the game, but it seems like it's a fun game and it can go somewhere. You know, my suicidal, poorly designed ships aside. I could make good ships, I just choose not to. I swear. And plus, we got a lot of other things to worry about, like Library of Rowena. So where are we now? 27, making progress after a billion years of not doing anything. I modded it to hell and then started making huge ships. The correct choice. I didn't dip into any of the mods, but some of them are actually quite nice and ridiculous. It is a fun, it's a very fun building block sort of game to do that sort of thing with. It's a simple to approach sort of system. You know, easy to learn, hard to master is the correct term for it. I played 22 hours the first day I had it. Yeah, it is amazing, an amazing time waster like that. So, hope that game does well. An F5E. That man must be in a platoon. See, I was almost him, but then they slapped me with fly-by-wire restrictions, so I can't really outturn him. Except at incredibly low speed, that's suicidal to actually be in, because it means you've committed to a single engagement, and you are defenseless. You can't overcommit like that until you know for absolute certainty that you are not going to be engaged by anyone else, because you can't get away. You can try chaffing and flaring like a motherfucker, but generally speaking, if you go down to that, low speed to get the advantage in a turn fight with the F-16 or the Phontomen, you will not be able to avoid threats. So if the chaff and flares don't work, you're dead. Or if you run out of chaff and flares, you're dead. If you kill the man and then are acquired by somebody with more speed than you, you're dead. In War Thunder, I don't think I got past T2 equipment in anything. Understandable. Especially at lower tiers, you spend, honestly, you acquire more planes faster than you grind, you acquire the parts for them. War Thunder's grind is full of, holes and really badly utilized systems anyway. It's mostly just to put pain on the player until they cough up some form of money. Okay, so the enemy AI is over there, and so are the enemy players. So I guess we're doing, visual acquisition. That's what we're doing. We're doing, put the bore sight, where is that missile going? That's tracking, and, okay, nope. Almost, but no, he's dead. That's not the dude I aimed at, but okay. Jesus fucking Christ. And that man's already dead. Oh boy. Oh look, more enemies. Missed him entirely. Great. Now, all of my missiles missed! Golly gee, I think my missiles are failing more often, but that's impossible. The patch said they were improved. They weren't. Oh well. I ran the gauntlet, I ran out of flares, I had too many people firing radar missiles at me, I died. It happens. But as you see, yeah, no, this is a massive nerf to the F-16. And everyone else that actually was relying on radar missiles. But mostly the F-16, considering that I don't think anybody else was improved by the patch beforehand. I don't think any of the other radar-driven, like the F-14 and the floggers, I don't think they were really doing substantially better than they were normally. So the patch coming in, really, this was just an F-16 nerf. That's what it is. My radar was functioning too reliably, and I was getting too many kills, and nobody could get away from me. And then they decided to change the radar system to benefit me, and, to benefit other people by crippling me. The radar is probably just as inconsistent as it was on the other planes that aren't the F-16 as before the patch. Since the radar, one of the biggest things about radar in War Thunder is that it sucks. The radar missiles are extremely good if you get the radar to behave, and that's just been the thing. It's kind of a gambling mechanic, whereas it's not the missile, it's your radar, and if your radar tracks, the missile will almost always hit the target. That's the compensation. If you manage to get through all of the problems that can stop you from hitting someone, the radar missile impact is assured. That's not the case anymore, or wasn't before today, because the F-16's radar is really fucking good. So usually I was getting my radar kills. It was starting to lean towards it's a freak accident when they don't hit, rather than being a freak accident when they do. I don't think anybody was adversely affected by this, or anybody else was adversely affected by this, but it's clearly a nerf to the F-16. Because this is performing considerably worse than it was a day ago. Had a large swath of days with, really good radar missile kills. When they behaved, they would still lose track, but now they're losing track and going after stupid shit more often. So everything they said in the devlog is a lie. They're actually worse all around now. I don't think it's been improved. It's been made worse pretty much in every capacity. I can only see this as a nerf to the F-16 toward the benefit of everyone who isn't an F-16. That's it. This guy's flying directly fucking at us. He's in range. Let's see if the missile will actually track. That's actually an That looks like a... Yeah, no, it's gotta be an F-14. Yep. That looks like it's in. Okay. I got the man who actually needs to fly straight in order to actually utilize more of his advantages. There was another man over here, but I don't see where he is. I think that might have been the only guy. Anybody go low? Nope. Scope in this direction is clean. The sniffer says there's nobody out here. So it means that that guy was turning head on to launch phoenixes at people and overcommitted. Looks like the rest of the team is running straight into our team at low level. Is there anyone else out here? Anybody up high? That guy. I don't see anybody else, but they're probably... No, those are AI. That guy. No, that guy. Fuck you. I have IFF. You shouldn't be locking targets like that. Now I'm being locked behind me. Okay, so rather than try and jump in and get a kill that I'm probably not gonna get, let's turn to try and find the dude who just locked me. The dude who's literally right in front of me, says my RW1. That guy. Hello, UI. I'd love to be able to shoot the man. Thank you. Doing that stupid glitch on me twice. The man is not swerving to avoid. Well, we swerved to avoid way too fucking late. Your mistake was you showed your hand and you didn't fucking kill me. That is nowhere near me. However, we are out of enemy players. So I guess at this point, well, I've got plenty of missiles. I might be able to get a couple more kills. We are out of friendly players, I should say. But oh well. All right, fine. This time, I won't go to the airfield and leave. I will try to get more kills, since really points are the only thing that matters. If I die, oh well. That's 9 kilometers, though. That's definitely a little bit too far for an owl. Oh. Nope, still too far away. There's that Fulcrum way over there, but he's not paying attention. He's shooting at AI. I wonder if I forgot something. Speed breakout. And... that should be close enough if the Magic L holds. The Magic L looks like it's going in. Nope, it almost got him, but it missed. Can I get me another kill, though? Yeah, that's in. Hey, look! I got some reward for not leaving like a bitch. Hooray! Notch. Notchy, notch, notch. Oh, boy. Notch. 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 Whew. Okay, he did not get the Magic L. Whoa! Nope! Well, he managed to swing around. That's him using his actual turning capability. He gets a little bit of that one circle. I tried to get him to overshoot, but nope. Sadly, I couldn't get it. Oh well, I got one more kill. Make it up for lost time, I guess. Oh well.
Operation failed. Return to base.
See, that's the only, like, fragment of the Fulcrum's supposed maneuverability left. He has that first turn, but it's really a minor advantage, honestly. That wouldn't really work that well against anybody else. I suppose he was moving slow enough to not overshoot me as well. Oh well. But that's the only thing he has, but that's an incredibly tiny advantage that really won't help him in the vast majority of engagements, which is why my radar missiles got nerfed. Because he wasn't able to do anything because my radar is better than his. And so my missiles hit him before he gets to do anything. Okay, 30,000. 10,000 more. Oh, well. We'll be fine, because top-tier gameplay is incredibly vapid, and, additionally, because it's so vapid, it's very quick, and, what do you know, being at top tier gives us the most points for the event thanks to multiplayers. So really, this is just an exercise in almost crashing into the ground. Honestly, if I had anything, I might be just like bombing bases and then slamming into the ground afterwards if I had anything else. If I had been so dumb to get a tornado or something. But Because I know War Thunder is War Thunder, the Tornado has no fucking advantages whatsoever. So I didn't fall for that shit. There is no reason to fly anything like a Tornado, period. But yeah, this is almost basically an exercise in flying into the ground and, you know, getting points and grinding, you know, failing upwards as fast as humanly possible. Except I'm actually getting some kills and winning some games here. I'm actually still contributing. Kinda. However, unfortunately, when my whole team drops dead, I can't really do anything aside from huck a missile at people and maybe get a kill, and then be immediately screwed the moment that I get re-engaged. Tornado is what nation? It's Italian, German, and British. They all suck. They all suck because apparently their engine and weight is wrong, and they don't have any advantages over an F-16 or a Fulcrum. And they have all the disadvantages of fly-by-wire, so they're not good against anybody else either. They're me or the Fulcrum with even less advantages. And on top of that, they had the audacity to have the British one start with no bombs. So you have to actually play it like a fighter until you unlock the bombs. With no flares, by the way, you have to grind for those two. So, yeah, not good. It's probably the ultimate failing upward plane of modern War Thunder. I'd like to be able to shoot today. I'd like to be able to shoot today. He's dead. I probably wasn't gonna get that kill anyway, because that guy's missile was moving faster than mine, but come on. And he's dead? I don't know what that missile was tracking, but it ain't that fucking guy no more. That guy's dead. I'd like to fire the missile today. That looks like it's good. Okay, good, fantastic. Something going right. Okay, let's see if we can hop on this EJ without too much of a problem. That guy's coming straight the fuck at us. Oh! It proxy fused, it hit him. He's not dead, but he's wounded. What a world if that actually happened more fucking often. Somebody killed him, good, whatever. You know, I really shouldn't be locking this guy with radar, giving him a clue that I am directly behind him. However, it's easier for point-and-shoot gameplay. See, that's actually not helping. The radar dipping like that is making it harder for the Ls to actually acquire the target, even though they really shouldn't be having any problems at all. He's not paying attention either. That dude's RWR is going off solid. Continuously. It's making that really annoying noise that means that you're in danger, shithead, and he just did not pay attention at all. Same with this EJ. Okay, guys, I guess we're just not gonna... I guess we all just have turned off the annoying, you know, arcade machine sound effects because they're... Oh, my ears hurt. Okay. Okay. That actually looks like it's... No way, what? Nope, okay then. Hey, 4 kills! I might get an ace here. Hang the fuck on. Why? Because a bunch of dudes were just not paying attention whatsoever. That F-104 might get that kill. Actually, nope, flared away. Okay, we got a chance here. Okay. It's gonna be a gun kill, so... Nope. He's probably not gonna survive. Because I know my teammates are probably locking him up right fucking now, and he's probably gonna get slammed any fucking second. No? Okay, I have a chance here. I might get this guy. Come on. Come on, speed up. I need to get real fucking close. I gotta be real sure with this gun, because it's really goofy.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Come on. He's pulling away. Come on, do something stupid like turn like that. Yes, please. We're gonna be going to his airbase and he might get one, so... Okay. Okay, we're gonna play that stupid game, huh? Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna be, trying to...
Returning to the airfield.
I swooped him. You know, the problem is now we gotta worry about roll-ins. Yep, here they come. Is he gonna come back and try and dogfight me? He is. You know, the problem is I can't turn into him like that because roll-ins. I outran the roll-ins. You know, the problem is now it's his fight. Now I need to get the fuck out of here. I could try the vertical maneuver on the roll-ins if he pulls over the airbase. The only problem is that F-104 is probably gonna kill him. I just could not get into gun range. Okay, he's tracking the F-104, so I may have a good chance if I dive on him now. Because I think the roll-ins still have that weakness where they can't track shit directly above them. Or really, they're honestly very bad at it. I don't know, but at least I'm moving fast enough that I know that if we're not actually over the airbase when we do our turns, I will be able to outrun the roll-ins. Oh, this is gonna be close. Come on. Come on. Come on. Pull. 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 Ah, G-lock. Oh. Now I'm dead. Ooh! Book! 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 I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge! I should be able to outrun those missiles. Speed! Woo! I'm gonna run out of fuel now. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave, and he's gonna rearm, and we're just gonna agree that, yeah, no, couldn't get close to you. Alright, see you later, Phontomen. How's the F-16? Good when Gaijin isn't trying to nerf me, which is, unfortunately, most of the time now. Okay, so we're gonna throttle down, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Because unfortunately, he's gonna get the rearm because I chased him all the way to the airbase. I should have re-engaged, but nah, I may have played myself. My fangs came out and they went through the fucking floorboards, and unfortunately, now I put myself in a bad spot. Got 4 kills. So maybe I can coast out of here if I'm really lucky. Because I got 2 minutes of fuel, but that might not be enough. Unfortunately, I just could not get close enough to him because our speed in straight line is so close. So I could not actually get him, he was actually pulling away. So I couldn't get in range for a gun, and I couldn't, try and find the magic stealth pepper and actually hit him in like a kilometer. So, no dice, I needed my missiles there, and I didn't have none left. Silly me, I was using them to kill other people. So I could potentially maybe get out of here if I keep my speed at like 25% throttle. Hopefully, he's taking so long to rearm that he will not be able to reacquire me at long range. Because I'm halfway through the map. If I don't get engaged, I may be able to make it over the airbase. If I don't have to fucking sprint real fucking quick, I should be able to make it back to the airbase if I can actually keep the speed. Or rather, keep the engine throttle. So we're about halfway there. I could probably make it once again if I don't get engaged. But it looks like our team members have respawned and are coming back my direction. Unfortunately, this means that he's probably gonna get shot down before I come back, so I'm out of the game. And it looks like we're gonna be good here. Yeah, let's not. I've got my throttle step to 25, so let's keep it. Let's keep it at 25%.
Incoming message from Allied Forces Operations.
Okay, well, he's nowhere near me. Good luck, boys. They're making me want to play War Thunder. Well, that's what top tier is. This is a freak fucking accident, though. But that's what top tier in War Thunder is right now. It's supposed to look cool so that you want to play it. But actually, when you get right down to it, it's really fucking dumb and way worse than it actually should be. But it looks cool, though. Ooh. F-16, go fast, brr. But this is a freak fucking accident. Suddenly I'm playing a low-tier game, but oh, okay. He's gonna camp the airbase. That might kill those guys, but again, they may also hit him with the radar missile. And then he's fucked. I'm probably not gonna get the kill, but it looks like I'm free and I'm gonna get back on the ground. That F-16 or F-14, one of those is gonna get the kill. That guy might get an ace, good for him. Why is he trying to lock me at 36 kilometers? Dude, you've got bigger problems. I'm amazed that he's actually able to get this lock, but he's not gonna hit me with anything out there. Okay, we actually managed to make it with a minute of fuel left. Unfortunately, the F-14 slammed into the ground like a dumbass. Actually, probably snapped his wing off. Again, like a dumbass. Will the F-16 get the kill? Knowing my luck, as soon as I put down and rearm, as soon as I'm set back up on the runway, the man will be dead. Okay, and we're down. Okay, so we managed to limp back home. But now we've got to get a BVR kill on a Fulcrum who's camping his airbase. I have no idea why this guy hasn't seen him. Maybe he's pulling back because he's out of fuel. Where the fuck is he going? No, he's coming back this direction. Why, though? Did you spam all your missiles at AI targets? Also, I'm now targeted. That's just great. Thanks, guys. I think it was the F-14 that actually dropped that blind hunt. And now I'm the target. Hooray! I guess I'm gonna sit here for a bit. Because I know I'm at least safe on my airbase. I'm now wait a minute. Wait a second. I think I got him. Yeah, call up the Chaparrals and the Patriot missiles. We got ourselves an unknown out there. We just tilt my fucking plane up and go after him. Yeah, that must be him. I'm now a ground-based radar. Yep, that's him. Holy shit, I actually acquired him. Okay, well, that F-16's in a spot. He may kill it, though. At least I know where he is now. Looks like they got a head-on pass. Did any of the missiles connect, though? Nope, don't look like it. Looks like he's firing at him, so he's on a 6. Okay, you're gonna kill him or I'm gonna do it, or the tickets are gonna bleed out. One or the other. Alright, well, if he kills enough time and survives, I will get the BVR kill. Target acquired. He's in the rear aspect now. Okay, and hopefully we don't get there's the target. He may still notch it, but hell, I've got 2. Come on, baby, come on. Come on. Come on, you son of a bitch. Where are you going now? Thanks, Gaijin. You're just an absolute treat, you know that? Missile away. That should track properly. He's not. Oh, come on! You stupid son of a bitch. Come on, reacquire. Oh my fucking god. Okay, then fine. Oh!
Operation complete. Job well done.
That would have killed him. That would have got him. I got robbed out of an ace. You know why? Because Gaijin's like, oh, we've got to nerf the F-16, but we can't tell you that. Go fuck yourself. That was my kill. Go fuck your... That was not doing that before this patch. They nerfed me because I'm just too fucking cool. Go fuck yourselves, you incompetent shitheads. Actually say you're nerfing something when you're actually going to nerf it. It'd be nice if we were at least honest when you were being fucking retarded. But okay, so he gets his stupid dogfight because my radar gets confused now, even though... Yeah, that's one of the reasons why the F-16 was so expensive and almost failed to find buyers, because it's actually quite an expensive plane. The radar is one of the things that's very expensive because it's quite good. But! Can't have that. That was my ace. You stole it from me. That lock should have held. That first missile should have been on target. I may have got that missile. I may have gotten that first missile off in time. The second one might have been too late for the buzzer, but I would have gotten that first kill if the missile had actually behaved. But now, oh no, the F-16 has flaws, and I can't track an enemy. Oh boy, I can't keep track of a dude who's literally right in front of me. No, I'm gonna track the teammate, even though I have IFF. See those things? See those things on the nose? You know, right below the cockpit, the spiky things, right? Can't really see because I can't zoom in far enough. You see those spiky things? You know, on that little panel right in front of the cockpit? Those are IFF antennas. The radar can tell what's a teammate and what isn't. It will not attempt to lock a teammate because the IFF is being received. But no, Gaijin wants more dynamic gameplay. What's that mean? More situations where your weapons fail to get the kills you should have gotten. What a bunch of fucking incompetent mooks. So, oh, well that's great. That, again, see the bar above these radar contacts in front of me? That's friendly IFF. This has IFF, so I shouldn't do that. But I do. Sounds like reverse random crits. Basically, yeah. Same shit. They don't want to admit that they're an arcade game, and that being a hard simulator would mean that people actually have crippling disadvantages and it wouldn't be as fun. So what do? They gamify under the rug and they try and tell you that they're really awesome. They're being accurate or doing, you know, they're balancing for historical accuracy and shit like that. When really, no, this is a dumbass arcade game. And what happened? One plane was winning harder than it should have, or harder than they intended it to, at the dumbass arcade game. So what did? They nerfed the plane. They came up with some magical reasonings that, they came up with some magical explanation that, oh no, we buffed radar. So now it'll track unnecessary targets or unintentional targets less often. The Sparrows have a tighter search area so that they won't pick up, you know, random enemies, and go after them, you know, as often as they did before. And now what happens? They do that the same or even more, and my radar will now slide off to, you know, to friendly targets when it wasn't doing that before. So what is it? What is this? This is a nerf, and they lied to you. But that's just par for the course for Gaijin's stupid fucking way of doing things. They lie, and then their favorite tactic is not saying anything at all. So if they never say anything, that means that they cannot be held accountable to promises they didn't make, and to things that you know, any things that they did that weren't actually intentional. But this time they had the gall to actually say something like they were buffing something, and then they didn't. That's going right into the ground, thanks. Catch fitter. Come on, Magic L. He stopped flaring. He thought he dodged it, but he didn't. So this is kind of like, I can't really get angry at top-tier gameplay anymore, and this is competing reasons as to why. I stole that kill by accident. He got slammed, and he went into a flat spin, but whoops. Only realized that about halfway. But you see, this is why this is shit. You really shouldn't rush towards this or spend a whole lot of money on it, because it's so incredibly vapid and balanced by horseshit arcade mechanics when you don't want it to be. That's War Thunder's defining MO. Realistic in ways that hurt you, and arcadey in ways you don't want it to be. That's it. That's the whole fucking game, and it always has been. It was excusable back in like 2013 when the game launched because it just launched. I hope they'll patch it, guys. It'll improve over time, right? But now we're damn near a decade into the game's lifespan, and things have either... Some things have improved, a lot of things have stayed the same or gotten worse. Like, this is all new mechanics right now, so this had to come in. Have they improved? Well, if they improved in reliability for a sec there, but then I started winning too hard, so they had to nerf. Now this is basically, now I'm basically almost back in the F4C. Actually, no, not even. The F4E, because the C didn't get its sparrows. And nope, it didn't come in with sparrows, and it didn't get sparrows until much later. So now we're in the F4E trying to get sparrows to work, and scratching our heads wondering why aren't they working. Now they work a little better as we can acquire targets, but they're just as unreliable, really, honestly now. They're only a little bit more reliable than they were back then, but they were more reliable, you know, a couple of minutes ago before this patch. I'm being acquired not by an enemy, but by one of those F4... That guy. That guy's giving off radar waves behind him. Okay, so he's obviously going back to his airfield. How much time? That is the airfield. Okay, so we're gonna have to turn the beat around here and turn hard away from the fucking Rollins so we don't get our ass blown up. We can outrun them, barely, but let's just climb here and extend the range. Yep, there they go. Okay, we're out of range. Okay, we're gonna get a head-on that. That guy's gonna get slammed. Actually, no, he's flying fast enough that the Rollins aren't tracking him. Or rather, they were tracking me instead. So go get him, Jay. Go get him before the Rollins blow your stupid ass up. Go get him. He did not get the kill. Okay, so we're gonna do something kind of chancy here. Okay, we're gonna try and get a lock from as far away as possible with one of these. Follow it in. It's falling, so that means the range is gonna be extended. The only problem is that's 7 kilometers for an L. That's a little long. And he's also flaring. God help that missile, though. All right, well, this is our last try. And that's the cloud. Come on, Raytheon. Come on, pick up that motherfucker. Come on. Come on. I'm out of fuel. Come. Ah, that's front aspect. Damn it. Whip! Okay, I've got one more chance to turn this bitch around and actually hit that motherfucker because we are out of fuel. I am a dead man. I have one danger stick left. That's my death over there, but... Catch you, bastard! Nope, trash. Dang it. Oh well. Nope, I didn't get the magic L when I wanted. Oh well. Why care? The game is incredibly vapid, and even if I'm winning consistently, it will try and nerf me because I'm winning too much. Even if I know what I'm doing, even if I'm utilizing the advantages I have been given, those advantages and the situations will change at a moment's notice, because here's the secret. War Thunder is not a realistic game. War Thunder is not a simulator. It's a stupid arcade game that wants to pretend it's better than it is. But when you get down to it, if anything's winning too hard, even if it's realistic, it gets changed. But, oh well, just more random shit. It's the thing that's saving this is that the game is mostly playing itself anyway. So, until they decide to change the fly-by-wire restrictions and actually release those and actually, or rather boost them like every other plane in the game is boost. I've said this multiple times before, but every single plane in this game has their control surface authority and maximum G load boosted 150%. Every single plane in the game is overperforming. Why? Gameplay. Except me and the Fulcrum. Me and the Fulcrum are actually hard-locked to the realistic fly-by-wire restrictions. Until they reverse that, these will not be dogfighting planes. So what are you doing? I carry danger sticks, and I do head-ons, or catch people who aren't paying attention. Otherwise, I just go real fast and leave. If the F-16 continues to win, even with the radar nerfed now, I suppose they will consider doing that. Because at the end of the day, the Fulcrum just has no advantages. And even when you cripple its adversaries, it's still not really doing all that well. You see, that guy had to run back to his base in order to get away from this. Granted, it's the only man, but we still killed every single enemy left, so at the end of the day, we still won. But they have to do shit to cripple me to give him a chance. And that last guy, that should have been my ace kill, was robbed from me because the radar is now stupid again. That was to give him a chance to survive and get into those dogfights when, realistically speaking, no, I've got the lock, the man should be dead. But no, that's boring, says Gaijin. We've got to add more dynamic outcomes, which means effectively making all of your weapon systems RNG. Ooh, when you shoot a missile at a man, it doesn't always hit. Ooh, wow. What, because he outmaneuvered it? No. Because he used flares and defeated the missile realistically? No. Well, how did he avoid the missile then? We just said so. Really, that's what it comes down to a lot of the times. No, we made this random fucking thing up, or this thing that's barely based on reality that's accentuated to cartoonish levels. And that says your missile didn't hit. Better luck next time. What's such an amazing, diverse PvP experience, right? Esports ready. It's such a skill-based arena. Weapons that randomly malfunction for no apparent reason. Ooh. Can you tell I'm a little salty? I am, because you know what? That was an ace. It would have been nice to get an ace on stream. And it was my ace up until this patch. Right up until this morning. I would have gotten that ace had I been playing, like 3 a.m. Or rather, before 12 o'clock. I'm not exactly sure when the patch dropped, but before the latest patch. I would have gotten that ace had the game had taken place several hours earlier. Now, nope, no, I'm fucked. They just took a hammer to my fucking radar and they said no. But, well, at least it behaves some time. Oh. I thought I could get the missile. I was hitting the chaff. I pressed the caps lock. The man's dead anyway. Oh well. I was pressing it, that didn't come out fast enough. Oh well, we're at the end anyway. So I'm a little salty I didn't get my ace, but realistically speaking, what is an ace in an F-16? It's, oh, my missiles played the game for me really well. That's really it, because it's kind of, so when you really think about it, it's kind of impossible to be angry at that. Or rather, impossible to stay angry at it, because it doesn't mean as much. Because I'm not getting those kills, the missile and the radar are. And because the radar got nerfed, I didn't get my easy mode missile go bang kills. Oh no! See? It doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. It's still annoying to have that shit happen when I should have gotten that. I should have, been able to feel good about myself because, haha, I watched my missiles play the game for me exceptionally and got 5 kills. Ooh, look at me go. I should have been able to, have that moment there, but they robbed it from me because I'm too good. Or rather, my plane and its missiles are too good. Not me, because let's face it, playing the F-16 is not a complex game of maneuvers and anything. It's literally pointing the nose at the plane, locking the radar on someone, and going to town with all of the missiles. That's really all it is. It's actually it's an F-14 with its Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes are actually better missiles. Shorter range, but you really weren't hitting anything at those extended ranges anyway. So basically, this is essentially a more reliable, or was a more reliable, Phoenix missile truck. And that's really all the gameplay is. I'm launching smart munitions at people that think for themselves, but unfortunately, they're a little bit worse at that now. to give these fuckers a chance. Which, again, if you're gonna have an arcade game, it should be fair and balanced like that. The only problem is, this game pretends that it's a realistic simulator, and then diverges randomly into being an arcade game. They acknowledge either side, either extreme, when it suits them, and when it doesn't suit them, they can completely ignore it. Which is dumb. Be one or the other, and be good at one or the other. Because I gotta tell you, I can't really recommend this game to anyone, honestly, because if you like this gameplay that I'm playing right now, good fucking luck. You will reach it in God knows how long. You'll be playing lots of things that you really wouldn't be playing, or really want to be playing, until you get to this. And this is not worth all that effort. The only thing about this is that I am so close that I can spend a comparatively large amount of money, but a smaller amount of money than you would have to, in order to get to it, or grind a comparatively less amount, shorter amount of time, because sunk cost. I put the work in years ago, and thus I get the advantage of being close to this shit. Is this a good situation for a new player, though? No. Okay, my radar wasn't actually active up until it was. Or rather, I wasn't being hit. That was an F-16A. That was a heater. I didn't see him over there, but oh well. I was looking at that guy, and I wasn't looking off to my side. He came in from behind him out. Oh well. But again, oh well, next game, because that's all there is. Where are we? One more, actually, yeah, maybe about 2 kills. One more 2-kill game, and we'll have enough. Or rather, 1 kill, maybe. If we get a couple extra points with that. One more kill. That doubled up would probably give us enough. But let's get 2, just in case. And then we have half-ass entries like this, where this is not why Enduring Conflict is good. Here's the situation with Enduring Conflict maps. I understand why people don't like them, because they feel like they're dragging out the games unnecessarily. This is entirely fair. This is entirely accurate, because that's what they're doing. You know when we needed these? When the F-100 and the MiG-19 came out, when we had supersonic planes. That's when we needed this kind of map. And by the time we got here, this concept needed to develop into something more sophisticated in terms of objective play and shit to do. Really, now, it's so bare bones, it's nearly completely worthless. And you might as well just J out and go play a shorter game, because this doesn't offer you all that much. So this is too little too late for this kind of thing. And really, honestly, I'd actually prefer them removing the Enduring Conflict maps, because at the end of the day, they're not what they should be anyway. Why have them? They're just getting in the way of your stupid fucking gameplay that you refuse to fix. Until objective play really matters, these maps are pointless. You are, in fact, just putting padding in between me and the enemy kills that I want. Objective play rarely, if ever, matters in air realistic battle, and that's just how the game goes. You can win a game via ground attack, but most of the time, you won't do that. What will happen is that even if you manage to duck all the enemy forces, you will be the last guy left inside of like 5 minutes. And then, you're just waiting for the enemy to find you, or you get back to base, realize what's happened, and then leave. It really doesn't actually change how the game operates at all, because there are no respawns, and the objectives aren't really all that impactful to end the game faster than, one side loses all of their planes. Or the majority of their planes to the point where the remaining people will never come back. Or almost never come back. It would require a fucking miracle and multiple people being absolutely fucking retarded. You basically are at that point letting the enemy win. So, these are worthless maps. But unfortunately, one of the major things about Gaijin is the fact that they don't listen to anyone and they barely put in any fucking effort. They just disappear until they have the next content to dump on you, or the next fucking thing to sell, like the battle pass or grind events, like what we're doing right now. And then when that's over, they're absent. And we're sitting here with whatever we got, and there are really no amazing changes in between them. There's no dialogue between the player base and the developers. There's no, like, state of the game sort of streams or, you know, dialogues between either the forums or anything. There's nothing. They're not that public because they don't want to be. They just want to dump content, have you consume it, and then get excited for next content. And then in the meantime, before that next content actually arrives, you just don't ever bother them. That's what they want. They just want you to play the game they give you and shut up. Hello, I'd love to notch this missile that's behind me. Or rather, that might be a radar wave coming frontally. That one is. Boy howdy, I'm being locked by a whole bunch of shit. Should probably step off the afterburner, because this is in fact during conflict, and it might take a while for us to get near enemy planes. But we only really need one kill, maybe two. Notch. That's not a notch. That's still not a notch. Still not a notch. Okay, I notched it. After a little bit of trying and fussing. However, unfortunately, that's on. Nope. I probably should have turned around and acquired the guy faster, but oh well. My countermeasures for getting away from that missile did not work, and so I died. That's it. That's really top-tier gameplay? In a nutshell, really, it's, does the countermeasure stop the missile? Yes, no. Does the missile hit the target? Yes, no. That's it. Gun kills are getting less, are fucking impossible, honestly, to get in these fucking planes. Or they're incredibly fucking difficult, to the point where if you wanted gun kills, you should be flying something like an F-14. We only need one kill, and unfortunately, oh well, that guy appeared out of nowhere, and, my countermeasures didn't stop the missile. I turned to shoot at the man, and unfortunately, that meant I wasn't notching the radar anymore. However, in order to kill the man, I need to look at the man. And so I made the choice to look at the man to attempt to fire my missiles, and I died. Oh well. Next, we'll just move on to another fucking map. Honestly, I should have skipped ahead and just jayed out on the fucking runway and moved on, which is what most people do when they see these maps. I have one kill remaining, and I can have my fucking breakfast. But, as we can see, the experience for the F-16 has been largely made worse by this patch. Not tremendously worse, however, it's still fucking annoying because I had reliable radar and reliable missiles. To a point, they were still doing stupid shit. But rather than fix the stupid shit, they are acting up even more. The biggest point about, and the thing about this is the language used in the updates would lead people to believe that this is a buff, and it's not. It is purely so my radar missiles are less decisive overall in the game. And that's it. Because I'm just too fucking good for everyone else in the F-16. Every other F-16 has the same thing, at least every other F-16 with actual Sparrows. But that's just it. The F-16 was winning too hard, and so we had to take a hammer to radar missiles again. They don't want to tell you that's what they did, but that's what they did. But oh well, it's... At the end of the day, it doesn't really change the overall modus operandi, it just makes it less successful. There's really no other way to play an F-16 other than haha spam missile, because the game doesn't facilitate any other type of gameplay. You can't turn fight when the kill ball's up because you will turn in front of an enemy, losing all of that speed, and you will be shot by like 1 or 4 people. So you can't dogfight, so you have to do VVR combat, or, you know, really close in heaters from some angle. Did that change? No, it just means my radar missiles are going to be less successful now. There's really no way of changing how you play this game, because the plane doesn't have anything else to go on, and on top of that, the game doesn't give you enough time to really do anything else. And that is now tracking that 23, which I am not actually looking at. Almost hit him, too. I thought they fixed that. It's fixed, right, guys? It's fixed. Right? It's fixed. They said it's fixed, so that must mean it's fixed, right? No. Actually, before the patch, I would have actually gotten that F5. Not today. But you see, that's the thing. Before I had certainty in my ability to really fucking reach out and punch people directly in the face, that's too much. They had to get rid of that, even though that's probably one of the major strengths of this plane. But no, too much for War Thunder. Gotta get rid of it. Thankfully, he used his turning ability to stand right in front of my missile. And now he's actually... yeah, his tail's off. So he's dead, but he's not dead. Alright, whenever you feel like crashing. There it is. Alright, that's the event for today, done. That might not hit a mountain. No, it's hitting a mountain. It's going way too low, nowhere close to the target. Uh-oh, down. I'd like to fire the missile. Thank you. Hey, I hit him.
The enemy threat level is down. Continue to engage.
Holy shit, once again, magic L's. And see, that's the thing. It's already fucking gambling and random chance with the L's, too. Because the flare ejection is an RNG mechanic, honestly. You have no control over it, it's just something the missile does of its own accord. And there we go. Game over. So, the AIM-9Ls are already RNG, driven mechanics, because the heater will either get confused or it won't. You have no way of actually encouraging the missile not to do that. It does it of its own accord. And now, we
Enemy
have more
forces
random
eliminated.
variables
Nice work,
for the
Comm
radar
team.
missiles, making them just as unreliable. Because that's the way Gaijin wants it. Because that means that there is actually, nobody has any advantages. That means the dice, as it were, can fuck with anybody. And that means that, at the end of the day, the win rate should be mostly balanced. That's all they care about. That's really all they care about, because they refuse to design a game that's more sophisticated than that. Really, honestly. They may say, oh, there's no dice in our game, but honestly, at the end of the day, there might as well be, because all their mechanics add up to RNG-driven fucking dice rolls. The AIM-9L coming off the rails, and actually tracking the target that I want to track, and not the flares, is a completely dice roll governed mechanic. It will either pick the flares or it won't. Now, the radars are, in spite of what they actually said, picking up random targets even more regularly. So now it's a fucking RNG mechanic that my Sparrow comes off the rail and actually goes to the guy I'm actually hardlocking and doesn't pick out that MiG-23, for example, who is just kind of somewhat sort of behind it. He wasn't even like right next to him. He was just a couple of kilometers behind him. And the radar's like, ooh, no, that guy. I want to kill that guy. Not the dude I'm actually locking. No, the missile randomly decided of its own accord, because my control was locking the F5. That's where my control went. That's what I wanted to do. That's as much control as I have over the missile. I locked the man. I kept the lock. I launched the missile with red tone, and that's my control. That was my intention. And then the missile decided, no, I'm going to go this way because I want to. I don't have any control over it. In fact, it's acting against my control. What is that? A variable to fuck with me and make the matches less determined, because before the patch, the missile would have gone straight into the F5 and the man would be dead. Unless he violently maneuvered, spewing chaff and flares, and maybe at close range that would have been enough to confuse the seeker head, so it would barely miss the plane. Nah, that wasn't good enough now, so now we have even more random bullshit to get in the way of my radar missiles because Gaijin designs things, and the only solution they have is to cripple these things because they can't play realistically because that's too certain. No, we need to add more dynamic gameplay, as they said once, and I will never leave it. I will never let them live it down. What is dynamic gameplay? That means shit that can go wrong to fuck with you. And now we've got even more things to fuck with you in the F-16. The first plane, or rather, I suppose the second plane, because the EJK already had this radar. But the decisive entering quality of the F-16 is that the radar wasn't going to fuck with you as much as it was in other planes. And now, that's really no longer the case. Now we're back to essentially the same level of reliability that we had before. The major advantage of this plane, well, the other only major, it only has two. It's really fucking fast in a straight line. Ooh, it can't turn. But it's really fucking fast in a straight line, and the radar worked. Those are the only major advantages of the F-16. One of those is gone now. It's funny how a small talk about plane features turns into a long rant about War Thunder being War Thunder. It always comes back to War Thunder being a shit game. Fancy that, but oh well. Shark camouflage. Okay, the funny French seaplane gets a camouflage. What's the camouflage here? So what's the dealio here? Okay, it's the same camouflage, but with different markers and... Ooh, scary shark face. Ooh, okay. Sure, fine. It's not going to be useful until the French Navy comes out, but ooh, scary. Intimidating. But I've rambled enough. We've got our event, and we're done, really, because War Thunder just got more horse shit. It was... We at least had something to our advantage, and there it kind of went. It still has a kind of sort of advantage. It's still kind of sort of there, but now it's more unreliable when it really wasn't before. So, the latest patch, nerfed radar missiles, because the F-16 was doing too well. That's the only rational reason for any of these decisions. They tried to word it as if it was a buff or positive change, but really... Actually, they're straight up lying to your face. The missiles are even more inconsistent now than they were. But It's Fixed told me they are more reliable. They wouldn't lie to my face. Yes, they would, because they're Gaijin. So, ladies and gentlemen, did Gaijin turn over a new leaf with Apex Prep? No. No, they didn't. No, they're still the same shit company. So, as much as it pains me to say this, you're going to have more fun watching me play this plane than you will grinding for it yourself if you're brand new. So, yeah, until War Thunder drastically improves, play something else. If you're not already, in the trench with this game, go anywhere else. Really go anywhere else. Maybe I'll get that design document out to you that maybe is my sort of proposal to make War Thunder less of a shit game, or rather have us enjoy more of the things in the game, rather than having to be crippled by literally everything that Gaijin does and have wasted opportunities left and right. Maybe I'll get that to you, but for today, I'm gonna have my lunch and I'm gonna see about what the fuck's going on in my sphere of influence over here. So that'll be our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. We are one step closer to the tornado, and well, we need 8, so 3 more. My problem is that's gonna be January 3rd at the earliest. We got time. But, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all next time. Keep an eye on my Twitter posts and the Discord to see exactly when I'm going to be streaming, because I don't know when I'm going to be streaming next. Well, at least there's other things to focus on, other important things to focus on, than the shitty video game. So I can't be down about this for terribly long, even though it's annoying, but, there are more fucking important things out there in life than playing video games. Fancy that, right? Enjoy the rest of your day, folks, and for everybody on the opposite side of the world, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you next time.